What is up, everybody? How's it going on this fine Wednesday? Oh, I better tell you guys before we get started, there is a large storm going on right now. It's kind of crazy, so I might lose power. So if all of a sudden I'm gone, they probably came and got me. Just a heads up. What's going on? Oh, man. Let's see who's up in the chat today. What's up, TOG? What's up, Liz Allen? What's up, Moms Russo? Mitchell Carey? I can speak. It's been a long day. What's up, Pinkerbell? Woke Mike? What's up, buddy? Uncle Fatty in the house. Uncle Fatty. Oh, we got an Uncle Fatty in the house. Progressively Independent. What's going on? Woo! Boy, do we got one. Man, you know, every day, I keep saying this. Every day I wake up, I'm like, I don't know, maybe this is the day that Donald Trump didn't do something crazy. And every day, I'm really, really disappointed that, once again, he's done something crazy. Was it that Arnold Schwarzenegger video we were watching? What's up, Midas Kevin? What's up, Bucket? Bucket in the house. We got a Bucket and an Uncle Fatty. This is old school right now. Man, we get a Soul in here, and we get a Gulf Marine here, and we're gonna be talking about the old days. All right. Well, what do we got today? We got a video that was from a couple weeks ago with Jasmine Crockett. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I would turn this into a Jasmine Crockett only stream if I could, because I could watch Jasmine Crockett all day long, just flame these people. Not even joking. I was writing the title for this this video, and I made sure that I spelled Jasmine Crockett's name right, okay? Because I don't want that smoke, okay? I don't need Jasmine Crockett laying into me because I can't spell her name right, all right? So I took some time, made sure that the name was spelt right, okay? So, you know, that's where I'm at with that. I was like, we don't need that. We don't need that right now. I don't need to be yelled at, okay? What's happening, Dee Dee? Oh, guys, what is going on with our White House right now? Are we really selling Teslas on the front lawn of the White House, guys? Also, just a little heads up. If you guys hear screaming in the background, that's my wife and my kids playing Rocket League. There is no murder going on right now at my home. It is, if there is, it's my wife and my kids destroying people at Rocket League. Okay, it's not me. It's not me. It's like the pre-50 subs days. Exactly, Fatty. Exactly. So anyways, yeah. So today we got a Jasmine Crockett video where she literally says that Donald Trump has failed as a businessman and has bankrupted multiple companies. I just like hearing that. I like hearing some of our representatives actually talk, because we got a lot of representatives right now that ain't saying a goddamn thing. But that ain't Jasmine. Jasmine sure as hell ain't. She's up there. She's talking every day. She's in these committees, and she is lambasting people. We got the Humanist report talking about Teslas being sold on the front lawn of the White House. Remember the days? What was it, Jimmy Carter, the peanut farm? Yeah, we don't do that anymore. We don't get rid of our businesses anymore. Apparently, somebody signed on to the fact that we don't care if our presidents now rug pull people or sell electric vehicles from the front lawn of the White House to support their billionaire buddy that helped them get into office. Apparently, we're perfectly fine with all that happening now. It's a weird timeline. We also got Kyle Kulinski. We got him with his message to Trump supporters, and I just wanted to hear that because, like I said, a lot of these content creators now, they're letting it out. They're doing the talking. The things we're not hearing from our Democrats in Congress, we're hearing from our content creators, and I'm fucking here for it, okay? We've also got some veterans that are pissed off. A lot of pissed off people right now. I don't know if you guys watched my recent video. If you did, it's gotten a few views. I do appreciate you guys for going out and supporting my my other work where I make videos and try to release those during the week. So I appreciate all you guys that, go on there and comment and like and share the video. I appreciate you guys for that. But on that video, I got a video from a guy, I believe his channel is Jim's Radio Content or Jim's Radio Channel. And he's a Canadian guy that released a video where he said, every time I go to make a video, I find myself so angry with the American government right now that I can't make a video. And I feel that because sometimes I come down here, I turn on the stream or turn on the videos and I start looking around for stuff to talk about. And just the idiocy. The idiocy is overwhelming right now. And it's hard to find content that I want to talk about that I can do so without being over the top, being a little too much. Because there's so much dumb shit going on right now that it's actually hard to explain it. Explained it? Oh, that's a good start. And it's hard to explain it in any way that seems sensical. Everything right now is idiocracy personified. And so I totally understand what dude's saying. And he also, he had a lot to say. A lot to say about how Americans are being treated in Canada right now. And I feel that. I feel that. We've let down people that have defended us, who have spoken well about us, who have been supportive of us. And it's really, really just disheartening to see the way these people are being treated. Bucket, 10 memberships. Bucket, thank you so much. You guys have made the Ginger Army an actual army. I don't know how much I can't put it into words how much I appreciate every one of you guys. Because after the election, there was a big question of how many people would still be here. How many people would still be willing to stand up and say something and, still fight the good fight. And a lot of you guys have stayed, and I really, really appreciate that. And all of you guys that come through that do what you guys do and make this channel what it is, I can't say thank you enough. I can't. Jasmine Crockett could be half the stream, and the other half of the stream could be just thanking you guys. But, unfortunately, there's so much dumb shit going on that we need to talk about more than that. So, anyways, between you guys doing the things that you do in chat and being such a beautiful, wonderful community full of great people, and also the messages that I wish I could show you guys without outing the places that I work. But seeing the messages from those people that have messaged the place I work to say how thankful they are for my business, the business that I work for, not my business, the business that I work for, how much they appreciate what we've done for them in the community. I wish I could show you those messages without outing people and just show you, because it's what gets me through this time. The appreciation that I felt from you guys and from the customers of the business that I work for that has really kept me capable of getting on here. And I appreciate the shit out of all of you guys. All of you. What's up, Susan? What's up, Christina? What's up, J. Rome? What's going on? Thank you guys, everybody. What's up, Christina M? Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, the karma, it has been happening. And I hate it and I love it, right? Because I love to see people getting what they voted for after we told them for so long that this was going to happen. But I hate it because it affects you guys too. And like I said, that makes making videos really hard because you want to get on here and you want to say, look at what these idiots have done. Look at how dumb the things that they're doing are doing. But I know that affects you guys, and I know that it affects me and my family and the people that I love and appreciate. And that makes it really difficult. But like I said, you guys make it worth being here. What's up, Ard's wife? What's going on? All right. Well, let's see if I can click a button and not send us into the void. And let's watch some videos. And yeah, let's talk about some stuff. And all you guys that subscribe to my alternative channel as well, thank you so much to all of you guys that have went over there and helped that channel get off its foundation. And you know, we've already got like 60 something subscribers, which is more subscribers than I had in like a year on this channel to begin with. So, you know, thank you to all of you guys that did that too. Fatty, 5 memberships. Thank you, Fatty. Fatty, I have a video queued up, and I hope we can get to it. But it's about the Patriot Front in Tennessee. It's not Idaho for once. This time it's Tennessee. But I hope to get to that video too. Thank you, Fatty. You know I appreciate you, Fatty. Like, look, we're after the election. A lot of us are really, really pissed off. And there was a chance to be apathetic. There's a chance to just, you know, drink a lot. And you guys have chosen to instead do the right thing. And I mean, we still drinking a lot. But we're here. And that's important because that's what it's about. It's about we. It's not about me. And you know, welcome everybody to the Ginger Army. I'm so thankful to all of you guys. Jeff's Couch Pineapple, you got a membership. Gotta get the pineapple membership. All right, guys. Well, let's take a look at this. We've got some videos, so I don't want to sit up here and talk all day long. But let's take a look at some videos, and yeah, let's do the damn thing. Dude, I still plan to drink a lot. Me too, Bucket. Me too. That wasn't going to change either way, to be honest. All right. Look at that. I clicked the button and we're okay. We did it. We did it, guys. Trumpstein didn't even win the election. He admitted it's fake at his inauguration. He and Muskrat stole it. So he's definitely not my president. Even, look at this way. I said in the video, I said Donald Trump doesn't, don't be mad at the Americans that didn't vote for Trump. He does not represent us. And somebody came into those comments and said, he's the president. He represents the American people. Nah, he doesn't represent me, dude. I worked plenty of places in my life where leadership didn't represent me. I've had bad managers. I've worked with bad managers as a manager. And I can tell you that those people, they weren't being represented by those managers. And Donald Trump doesn't represent me. He doesn't represent real American patriots. He doesn't represent what this country should stand for. So, nah, he don't represent us. He can continue doing what Donald Trump does. And that is, he can continue to represent Donald Trump, because this possible recession that's coming up is a Trump session, and it should be named after him because it's his. If he wants to own anything, if he wants to represent anything, he can represent those downward moving stock markets. He can represent all the anger and the hate that he has put out and his supporters have put out. But that don't represent me. None of that represents me. At the end of the day, if Kamala had won, I would still be hoping that every one of these people that didn't vote for Kamala Harris still got treated well, still got the things that I believed that Harris was going to bring to America. I would still wish those things on those people because that is what would represent me. And I believe that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Jasmine Crockett, those people represent me, not Donald Trump. Not Donald Trump. Okay? All right. Well, let's take a look. We're going to start with Jasmine here because I want to start with the right energy. we gotta start with the right energy. If there was ever a person that I wanted, like as a lieutenant in the Angry Ginger Army, it'd be Jasmine Crockett. She brings the energy. She brings the right energy for the Angry Ginger military. Okay? So let's start with some Jasmine Crockett. Let's check out this video. Video is literally do not have a heart. Jasmine Crockett land-based Trump and Elon Musk. I can't get enough of this.
Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
Thank you so much. And
look at Jasmine's the only one who
Mr.
showed up.
I'm going to pick up where my colleague left off by number one, thanking you for your service. Even though, I mean, I don't really know if they would have been trying to push you out
Stay
too,
hydrated,
because it
guys.
seems like anybody that knows what their job is gets pushed out. So congrats on your retirement. And I'm hoping that you have sunnier days ahead. But
Don't we all?
Ms. Tlaib just went through a series of things that she feels like this is, other than efficiency. And I have a term for what I believe is going on. I think it's just downright cruel. I think that you have people that literally do not have a heart. They're
Like, speak to that. Speak to that. Because even if the end game of all of this was to crash the markets, as they keep saying that you don't understand, it's 5D chess, bro. He's not playing 5D chess. He's not even playing fucking Connect 4. He's playing some game where he makes up the rules and he gets to tell you what the outcome is. That's what game Donald Trump is playing. But if it was intentional, it would be without heart. Like so many people, veterans being fired, normal ass everyday citizens that work their asses off to get jobs within the government have been fired. People that are on Social Security are concerned. People that are on Medicaid, Medicare are concerned. Like, you can't even come out and give a speech where you say to the American people, hey, these are hard times, but I love you guys. And I appreciate you guys. And we're going to make sure that you're still taken care of. We're going to do these things, but we're going to do them in a way that makes it so that way the pain and suffering that you might feel from something like this will be very minimal. Like, that's the way you talk to people. When I go to my employees and I say to them, hey, it's busy, but that's good. When we make profits, you profit. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know that right now it seems like these people are never going to go away and you are just working your ass off just to keep it going. I go, don't worry. Like, I'm here, I'm helping, and I want to make sure that you guys get through this too. Like, you can't even come out and do that? You can't do that? No, you got to go out, you got to own the libs? You're not owning the libs. You're destroying America. You can come up here and you can say that there are going to be hard times. But the American government has it within their own control to make sure that they don't destroy relationships with trade partners, that they don't back dictators in Russia. You can come up and you can say, hey, man, stock market might be going down, but you know what? We ain't going to cut your social safety nets. We're going to make sure you're taken care of. I haven't heard a single goddamn word from this administration that has been in any way positive about helping people that potentially could be impacted by this. Christine Noem said like, oh, well, those people don't even work. They deserve what they get. Like, there is not an ounce of empathy from these people. Not an ounce of sympathy from these people because they're not impacted by it. She couldn't have said that better.
They're telling us that, oh, no, we're going to run the federal government like a business.
Well,
let me talk to you about the people that are allegedly running this business.
Thank you.
Because the federal government ain't a business.
But
let me clarify. If it was, I don't want it run like the president has run businesses. The president, it's my understanding, has filed bankruptcy 6 times. We don't have...
Oh, that's not just your understanding, Jasmine. That's anybody with more than 2 brain cells' understanding, okay? Most of us know that Donald Trump is an absolute garbage-ass businessman that has never done anything that was worthwhile. Dude owns real estate. Dude inherited his money, and he wants y'all to believe that you're just like him. Oh, yeah? How much money did your dad leave you? I'm going to guess it wasn't in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm going to guess that your dad didn't hook you up with Roy Cohn, who was literally McCarthy's dude, who literally was the man who was prosecuting Americans and putting them behind bars and ruining their lives, just like Donald Trump is now. We just saw that with the dude that was protesting. He's currently still detained because that's the type of America that Donald Trump wants to take it back to. McCarthyism. That's what he wants. You know, I'm finishing that book right now on the Red Scare, and I can tell you that there are so many parallels drawn between McCarthy and Donald Trump. It's insane to think that Eisenhower was the one who came out and actually, like behind the scenes, worked McCarthy into a place where he could take away all the authority, all the power that McCarthy had gotten by driving Americans into fear, anger, and hatred of each other. Like Eisenhower did that. And it gives me hope that somewhere within our administration, someone like Jasmine Crockett, someone might stand up and actually start calling this shit out and point out that what is going on right now isn't good for American citizens. The Red Scare wasn't good for American citizens, and this shit going on right now isn't either. I just heard the other day that they said, "Oh, you don't have to worry about it. We're not going to be putting out a lot more files on the Epstein thing, but there are going to be some arrests made and there's going to be prosecutions." You know what that sounds like? Sounds suspiciously like the Red Scare, where McCarthy didn't provide any evidence in any one of these cases, but put people behind bars, ruin their lives, ruin their careers. You know, there was a mathematician, a teacher, who was a mathematician, that they couldn't prove a single thing about him that was communist, other than that at one point in his life he had associated with communists. He was considered the best math teacher in the nation. And not only did they get him fired from his job because they couldn't prosecute him, there was no proof, no evidence. Not only did they get him fired from his job, but his book on mathematics was pulled and banned from all American embassies across the world. A book on mathematics was pulled because it was communist. And that's, I told you, they're going to use the Epstein files for the same shit. Because I saw those comments. I saw the comments on that shit where the person said, "We don't need to see any more files. We just need to see some arrests being made." Like, we need voices like Jasmine Crockett calling out the bullshit. Because just like during that Red Scare, they're trying to get Democrats on board. Y'all heard what Gavin Newsom said? You guys see what Cenk's doing right now? That's what happened during the Red Scare. Was Democrats also got concerned, got scared, they got worried that they'd be seen as being on the wrong side of this. And so instead of like pushing back against the bullshit that was going on with McCarthy in these hearings, instead they capitulated. In fact, they joined. In fact, they led some of the committees. Truman was one of the harshest people on these things, and he knew that there was no evidence for this shit. Someone's got to stand up and say this is bullshit. Good job, Jasmine. Good job. Let's hear that one more time. It sounded, the truth sounds so good.
The president has run businesses. The president, it's my understanding,
AJ.
has filed
No.
bankruptcy 6 times. We don't have that luxury in the United States of America. But even when we start to think about Elon Musk, right now, as it relates to Tesla, the sales are down. As it relates to X,
this was before they started lighting his shit on fire. This is before they started lighting his shit on fire. Dude, has anybody benefited from this guy being censored? Nope. I think that Cenk will be deported? You know, like that was one of the things with the Red Scare too, was like a lot of people did capitulate and they still got their lives ruined. A lot of people came out and said, you know what? Okay, I don't want to be associated with this. So here's a list of names. Guess what happened to those people? They still got screwed over. Cenk, you want to capitulate? You might find yourself being deported. Gavin Newsom, you want to capitulate? You want to find the middle ground with these guys? You might not find enough voters to get you through a primary. Like, there will be repercussions for this stuff. And some of them will be legitimate, like Gavin Newsom, and some of them will be completely unfair, but you're not going to find any empathy from the people that you sold out. They're going to stand back and they're going to go, well, man, maybe you shouldn't have stabbed us in the back. Maybe if you wouldn't have stabbed us in the back, maybe people would be protesting that. Maybe people would be standing up for you. But that's not going to happen after you stab everybody in the back.
He has never made a profit.
What's happening,
since he
Diane?
bought X. In
What's
fact,
going on?
The value of X is 75% lower than it has ever been. So if I am going to go look for somebody to run a business, I'm going to look for someone who is going to run one successfully. And before people start screaming and yelling about, well, he's a billionaire. Yeah, when you know the right people and they'll just give you money, then you can become a billionaire too. And maybe one day all of us will have that kind of access. But until then.
And apparently if you buy a presidency, you can get yourself like $150 billion. That's pretty good. Hell, that's a good return on investment. And this is what I've said before is like, if you wanted to take Trump's ideas, Elon's ideas, and you wanted to run them through like a sanity machine and like do them in a logical way, like I said, every day I wake up thinking like, maybe today's the day. Maybe they figured some shit out. And every day I'm fucking disappointed. If you wanted to say to me that you were going to investigate the government for fraud, waste, and corruption, I'd vote for that. Go for it. Not Elon Musk. Not Donald Trump. I want to see a third-party audit. And there have been third-party audits. I want to see people actually showing real receipts, not bullshit that you put up on your website that don't add up because some people in this world can actually do fucking math, Elon, okay? Yeah, it sucks that some people fact-checked your ass by going through the receipts and being like, that's not even 30% of what you're talking about. Like, if you wanted to say to me, I've got this guy, and he has ran multiple companies to success, and this guy is going to use the tools that are available to our government to audit the system through these other people that are not connected to him, who he's connected to the government, then I got your back. If you want to tell me that America as a whole will be better if we renegotiated trade agreements with our allies, but we did it in good faith, not through some kind of bully shit, not through some kind of like, we're going to punish Canada. Like, I'd be all for it. I've even said, like, if you wanted to talk about investing in the infrastructure of the Russian people, not the Russian government, not Putin, but in Russia, and you're going to get them to pull back out of Ukraine, which they invaded. Let's keep that clear. Russia invaded Ukraine. You can't 1984 my ass, all right? I know what the fuck happened. If you were to say that, fucking great. If you wanted to say we're gonna create peace in the Middle East, all right, let's do it. Let's start investing in these countries. Let's start helping them out with their infrastructure. Let's continue to do the thing that America had been working on for so fucking long, man. But if you're going to say, we're going to deport the Gazans and we're going to put a resort there and be like, that's like some kind of fucking win? That's what I'm saying is so many of these things that they say, when they say them, MAGA, who don't want to do any kind of research or think, past their nose, they only want to see the shit that's right in front of their face. They say those things and they're like, that's good actually. How can you be against that? Well, because I have a functioning prefrontal cortex. And when somebody says something like, we're going to do this to make the country better again, well, then I want to look at what exactly they're talking about doing, and I want to see if it makes sense. And nothing Elon Musk does or Donald Trump does makes sense. And Jasmine Crockett's right. The only thing that makes sense is that eventually this is going to end in failure. Just like everything else that these people have done is happening right now. It's happening right now.
I
What's up,
want to
Randy?
talk about the fact that
What's up, Golf? Kelly?
Congressional Republicans, again, as it's been stated, they don't care about government efficiency. no more than they care about government
Bucket.
services and programs that constituents rely on. And just like Elon is hiding from this committee, Republicans are now hiding from their constituents. Under the current Republican budget proposal, 166,000 people in the chairman's district could lose their Medicaid benefits, including more than 70,000 children. The same for the chairwoman of the DOJ subcommittee. Under the current budget proposal, 120,000 people in her district could lose Medicaid benefits, including 75,000 children. This is what efficiency looks like to Republicans, selling out their own constituents to pass tax cuts for their billionaire donors and friends. And rather than taking GAO's recommendations and discussing how Congress can help make federal employees and agencies more efficient, effective, and supported, they're firing probationary federal employees, which again, in my opinion, has led to planes actually falling out of the sky. But
Speak on it. Dude, at the end of the day, you know what the problem is? She brought facts. She brought statistics. Jasmine Crockett, love you to death. Appreciate your voice. And to those of us out there that still can use our brain cells, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. But no Trump supporter is going to understand that. There are too many numbers. Oh, the big numbers. She a billionaire? Boy, she might be a billionaire. She got a lot of voice. She probably got it from insider trading, though, I bet. Like, if anybody on the Democratic side has money, it had to have came from something crazy. If the literal fucking con man and his literal con man homeboy do it, oh, they did it all legit, bro. Don't you wish you were as cool as them? Jesus Christ. 20 memberships. Mike Tesh. What's up? Thanks for being here. Thanks for the 20 memberships. I appreciate you. Dude, we're gonna have we might have a chance, guys. If we get enough memberships, I'm gonna run for office. What's happening, unknown? We gonna do it. We get enough memberships. We're running for office. I don't think I want to be a politician, though. I don't know that I might renege on that, to be honest with you guys. I don't know if I could be a politician up there with Jasmine and Raskin, Katie Porter. I do that. Yeah. Like, I like this generation. I love this generation of what's up there right now. But to be around like Jim Jordan, fucking Lauren Boebert and shit, I'm pretty sure that if you get close enough to any of those people, it's like an aura. This is my conspiracy theory, okay? My conspiracy theory is like how the anti-vaccine MAGA people believe that you could shed the COVID vaccine. I think that MTG and Jim Jordan, the rest of these fucking people, shed stupidity, okay? I'm pretty sure, because that's the only thing that makes sense. It's like you get close enough to them and you're about to like fucking say something, and then you're like, oh shit, don't bother me, I'm baiting. Like that's the only explainable thing. Like, you notice that when Jasmine Crockett is talking to MTG, it's like there's 6 seats between them. That might, you know how we had 6 feet of distance during COVID? That might be the thing. We might need 6 feet of distance at all time between us and these morons, because if you get close enough, they might shed their stupidity on you. There is a possibility. We should study that. Angry Ginger for President 2028. I'm definitely old enough.
But nevertheless,
make America Ginger again.
Because no one has been more unproductive than the Republicans on the Oversight Committee. Nevertheless, Mr. Dodaro,
what's that,
of
Deck?
the 38 high-risk areas in
Deck.
GAO's 2025 report, more than half are due in part to staffing or skills gaps, which you've already discussed. In your written testimony to the committee, you stated, quote, "When we have seen progress on high-risk issues, it has typically involved 3 essential elements: congressional action or oversight, commitment from top leaders at agencies, and active involvement by the Office of Management and Budget."
Oh, well, that sounds like an actual plan, though, Jasmine. MAGA doesn't like actual plans. Too many steps. She skipped Own the Libs. If Own the Libs was right at the beginning, Jasmine Crockett actually would get some, like, she'd get applauded for that. If she started with step 1, Own the Libs, they'd be like, hey! And then they just shut off after that. They wouldn't hear shit after that.
In your opinion, has Congress done enough to ensure the
What's
mass
up, Beetlejuice?
and
What up, Tammy?
discriminate purging of federal workforce doesn't, quote, impede
Ooh, I
the
like that,
government from
Bryce. That's a good call.
cost-effectively serving the public and
What's up, Pagan?
achieving desired results? Yes or no?
Well, I talked before about telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Sometimes it's not a yes or no. I think Congress should get more engaged and proactive in this area. I've always...
What Congress? There is no Congress. The Congress has literally just given up all of their power, the very power that they are supposed to use to check the executive branch, the way it was started, the way it was set up. Like, these people talk nonstop about the founding fathers. Oh, the Constitution. I'm a strict constitutionalist. Free speech, brother. Oh, okay. Well, did you know that the Congress is supposed to check the executive branch? Nope. That's not Trump's in charge. He's the king. Like, dude, that's like, it would be great if Congress could get involved. It'd be great if they fucking showed up a day to work. What's happening, RA? What's up, Nathan? What's going on?
Encouraged administrations in the past to consult
21st century
Congress
suffragettes.
in making some changes. Many of these things
go for
deal
it,
with
21st.
laws that
Go for
Congress
it.
passed, and I think
Benny's good people. I
Congress
trust
needs
you
to
guys.
get more active.
I agree. We need to do our constitutional duty, which is to conduct oversight. So again, I'm inviting Elon or anybody else that's a member of Doge to come through and we can have a conversation.
Oh, they don't
In
want
fact,
that smoke.
I am not aware of any recommendations that really go beyond just cutting those services that people need. There's not been any talk about cutting any of Elon's contracts, though. Not a one. Not that
That's
I'm aware
crazy.
of. Maybe you're aware of it, but you are aware that Elon has been getting money from the federal government for a number of years, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it's my understanding that he has not made a recommendation to cut any of his money as we are trying to save money and save this country. At the end of the day, what I am going to say is that we had the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration open 5 investigations on Tesla for complaints of unexpected braking, loss of steering control, and crashes while cars were in self-driving mode. And Tesla tried to block at least...
Can you hear James Comer in the back? You got to end it. He knows. He knows right now. He better not. He knows he'll get that smoke. He's over there muttering into his goddamn microphone right now. You gotta end it. You gotta end it. He don't want any of that smoke, dude.
These 2 rulings from the National Labor Relations Board punishing Elon for tweeting that factory workers would lose stock options if they joined a union. This is a problem. Can you at least tell me that you agree, that you understand what a conflict of interest is, and that Elon
I am
may be
well
conflicted?
aware of what a conflict of interest is, and we've been asked by the Congress to take a look at this situation, and we will.
Well, I appreciate that. And with that, Mr. Chair, I will yield.
Dude, you know James Comer loves her. He tries. He sees up there. He's like I'm trying not. My friends are gonna be mad. It's impossible not to love her. It's impossible. You know, he's up there like, man, I got an erection right now. Sorry, Jasmine Crockett. Sorry. Not me. I don't have one. I might. Oh, man. Yeah, where's Marjorie at? Why isn't Marjorie there to take her lumps? Why isn't Marjorie Taylor Greene there to take her lumps? Dude, they all just run from Jasmine now. Elon ain't showing up. Marjorie ain't showing up. Ain't no Lauren Boebert there. It's just James and Jasmine. Because James low-key probably has a crush on Jasmine. It's understandable. Come over to the dark side, James. Come on over to the dark side. Oh, man. Oh, God, just watching. It's what the fucking country needs is somebody standing up and saying, hey, you're part of a committee? That committee is supposed to be looking into the connections that Elon Musk companies have to these things that he's doing. He ain't cutting his Tesla subsidies. He ain't cutting his SpaceX subsidies. He's getting billions of dollars still. It's your job. Are you going to do it? We need that. We need people trying to make the government do what the government is supposed to do. Because like I said, when you talk about Eisenhower used the government to shut down McCarthy because he knew that McCarthy was taking things too far. And that was a Republican. But at least, I might not agree with everything Eisenhower did, but I can tell you this. Thank God that he fucking realized that somebody within the Republican Party was going about things in the government, going about ways in the government that were not good for America. And regardless of whether or not I agree with his political beliefs or some of his racial beliefs, at least he knew that if McCarthy continued doing what he did during that time, that it was going to be bad for America. And what we have right now is McCarthy in the presidency with fucking Roy Cohn fucking going through our goddamn government and deciding what needs to be slashed and not slashed. And the Congress is just a bunch of McCarthyites. Just like it was during the Red Scare. We need an Eisenhower. We need somebody to stand up and say, it's enough. I don't expect much from Republicans. I don't expect much from the GOP right now. But if just one of you fucks could go, this actually might be bad, and like start doing something about it, that would be dope. All right, we're going to click the button. Look, I clicked 2 buttons, guys. We're going, I didn't click the right button. All right, click the right button. There we go. What's up, Cajun? You made it, Cajun. I see you. Oh, man. There's a lot to talk about. Yeah, you would think MTG would be pro-trans rights. Like, I'll be honest with you. If MTG walked into my bathroom, I'd be like, she belongs here. All right. Gotta talk about the stupidity. You go from somebody as intelligent as Jasmine Crockett to then having to watch fucking Elon Musk selling Teslas on the White House lawn. You have to prepare yourself. Like, I need a minute. To just like breathe. Kind of just like imagine that this isn't going to be completely stupid. At least Mike's there. So Mike's going to, he's going to add some commentary here. That helps break it up. But this level of stupidity, this level of con man shit, this level of scamminess, it's hard to take, man. So anyways, this is the Humanist report. Talking about conservatives seethe over Tesla boycott that's costing Elon Musk billions of dollars.
Progressives who frankly hate him are holding protests outside Tesla dealerships all around the country. They're trying to ruin his business. Charging stations have been vandalized and burned. Demand for Tesla cars in...
Have to admit, that makes me smile. It makes me smile.
Europe plunged after Elon tried to influence politics over there.
Yes.
The stock prices plummeted, costing Musk personally $132 billion.
I hate what they're doing to this guy. I'm going to go out. A friend of mine has a Tesla. I've driven it. I loved it. It's a great car.
You know the best part about all this? I'm going to be honest. Taking the W. It's fucking amazing. It's great to see. A bunch of people that deny climate change, that said that they'd never own an electric vehicle ever. People that were like, bro, like, okay, hippie, whatever, there's no such thing as climate change, are now going to help defeat climate change. Good job, guys. I mean, I almost feel like this was a psyop by Elon to just fuck over Trump supporters. I mean, that would be the most hilarious thing ever. This was all just to get them to buy electric vehicles. It's fucking hilarious, dude. God damn, it's so amazing. They're like, we're owning the libs by buying electric vehicles. Like, oh, no, don't. No, oh, God, I'm crying so much right now. Oh, dude, please don't buy those electric vehicles. Don't do it. They are literally the dumbest human beings on earth. Oh, it's so amazing. Please don't buy electric vehicles. Oh God, you guys are fighting climate change and it's killing me right now. Oh my God, please don't.
And I just frankly want to support someone who's given up an awful lot.
Mike, am I talking about you? I don't know. Am I
If you
talking
guys
about
will
you?
join me,
Might be talking
just
about
to
you, Mike.
we'll push back. Can we all buy a Tesla?
What's
Let's
up,
all
Reno?
go buy a Tesla.
People ought to be kissing
Oh, hold
the
on,
feet
hold on.
of Elon Musk and Donald Trump for being.
Marlon, are you a Trump supporter? Did you hang out for 5 minutes to come in here and type that one finger at a time? Did you, buddy? Did you? Marlon, what's your how hard is it? Not what's your, I already know the answer to that. It's a rhetorical question. How hard is it to have a 5th grade education and type out sentences that long? Does it take you a long time? Like, how long does it take you to type out a sentence like that? Are you going to go get you an EV, Marlon? Are you going to own the libs, bro? Oh, no. Oh, no, guys. He's going to own the libs, bro. Oh, thanks for being here. You are my content. Thanks for subscribing, buddy. Thanks for spending 5 minutes in my chat. I know you guys' attention span, your attention span is like 45, 50 seconds at best. I mean, the same amount that any one of your significant others would ever get from you. Sucking on those fucking... You probably jerk off to videos of Donald Trump sucking Elon's toes, huh? You got that shit on repeat. You got a TikTok. He's just watching that and fucking jerking off all angry. He's like, I'm making the liberals cry, bro. I'm making the liberals cry. Oh, Marlon, thanks for being here, brother or sister. I don't know. What are you? That's kind of like one of those names that's like right in the middle. Could be a guy, could be a girl, could be they, them. To be honest, Marlon probably is a they, them. You know, I get it. You're here. I love you. It's okay. I appreciate you. What's happening, Stan? Oh God, I love these people so much. All right. Whoa, what up, Oz? What's happening, Oz? Buys a Tesla, puts an LS in it. What is this engine?
Being the two people to actually do this.
He is going to be viewing a Tesla that is making its way to the White House complex.
Thank you for the content.
Now, I can confirm, perhaps the press pool today will have an opportunity to witness this very exciting moment later this afternoon. But a Tesla is on its way here now, and we'll see if the president likes it when he checks it out.
Dude, look at this shit. Hold on. Look at that shit. Oh my God. It's the world's ugliest fucking vehicle in front of the White House. America has gone full idiocracy. Oh, shit. The fucking truck I drew when I was like 5 years old. I never thought I'd see the day, guys. The day when I was first grade drawing trucks with the same ass wheels and everything. I never thought I'd see my truck in front of the White House. Okay? Oh, dude. And does not Donald Trump look like a fucking used car salesman, dude? Doesn't he look like a used car salesman? Oh, dude. He like literally looks like he's trying to sell Elon Musk and his kid a car right now. He's like, it gets good gas mileage. It doesn't use gas at all, they say. I came in, I asked them, I said, where's the engine? I can't find the engine. Where do they put the engine at? Oh, shit. Oh, God. You gotta say, I mean, this shit's amazing. It's pure fucking comedy. I mean, it'd be better if it wasn't that we're all gonna fucking, like, lose every dollar of 401ks as Donald Trump fucking crashes our stock market. But, at least we get to laugh at these morons.
When he checks it out.
Well, it seems like Elon Musk is finally starting to feel the heat, so much so that Donald Trump and Fox News are now love-bombing him to boost his spirits and to try to counter the Tesla boycott that's caused his company's shares to plummet by 15%, which has also cost Musk himself billions of dollars. Hey, Elon, my heart goes out to you, bud. You know, it's almost like coming out as a Nazi and endorsing a neo-Nazi party in Germany and cozying up to white supremacists and attacking Social Security and firing veterans and illegally destroying our federal government is bad for business. And ironically, he bought himself this job in Trump's administration to hollow out the agencies that were regulating his company so he could increase profits. So if the backlash to Doge ends up costing him more money in the end, that, my friends, would be beautifully poetic. Fuck around and find out, as they say.
Fuck around and find out. Somebody help me out with this. Redong, you might be able to help me out with this. Somebody said that if it dips below $114 in the stock price, that Elon has to call. And that will drive Tesla's stock prices to almost nothing. I haven't looked into that. I do want to look into it, but if anybody knows the answer to that right off, for me to just feel kind of amazing about that, that would be, God, that'd be hilarious. Holy shit. For him to buy his way into the presidency, cut regulations so he can make fucking like his car do as well as it possibly can, only to have it dip below 114 and make him call. Dude, holy shit, that'd be amazing. If that's a possibility,
apparently feels so bad for Elon
it's only
Musk
like 226
that he's seemingly trying to convince us that it is illegal
I don't know if it goes
to
below
not
114
buy
and that's
Teslas.
true,
And I
I'm not
say this
buying.
because on Truth Social, he praised Elon Musk and addressed the backlash that he's receiving while claiming that the left is trying to.
You guys remember when Elon first started jerking Trump's little mushroom, but Mushroom Boy wasn't going to climax? Remember when he was like, I don't want to. He was like, EVs, I don't like them. Not a fan, really. But Elon's a good guy, and he's giving me a lot of money, so it's okay. Like, how full circle did we come? Like, Elon's like, look, bitch, okay? That's not how Elon talks, but I can't do a good Elon impersonation. So he's like, look, bitch, I paid for this, okay? I got you into the White House. Now my shit's going down. I need you to go on your Truth Social or whatever the fuck you go on. I need you to make these fucking morons buy my cars, all right? Like, look, I didn't pay a bunch of money to get up in this bitch and then lose my goddamn job. He's like, you need to fix this or Lil X is going to fuck you up. Like, Lil X is just standing there on the other side of the desk, like, just staring down Donald Trump. Like, you fixed my dad's car business. That's my business. I'm going to get that money.
To, quote, illegally boycott Tesla to do harm to Elon Musk. And to that I say, yeah, that's kind of the point of a boycott, is it not? An economic boycott is protected speech under the First Amendment, yet Donald Trump is claiming that it's illegal when it's not. Now, does this mean that he might actually try to criminalize boycotts against Tesla? I mean, that's possible, because he already said that he's going to designate vandalism and destruction of property at Tesla dealerships as domestic terrorism. So I don't think it's necessarily absurd to think that he'd try to criminalize peaceful protests against Musk as well. And I mean, 38 states already have anti-BDS.
Dude, that'd be some fuck around and find out shit. I don't think that's a good idea. You know, you might be able to get away with criminalizing, well, you shouldn't be able to. Let me first say that. But he might be able to get away with, grabbing a couple of these protesters and detaining them. Somebody was saying that it's a test case to try and put this guy in jail and detain him to see if the courts will allow it. And unfortunately, like I said, you read about the Red Scare and you read about liberal judges that were willing to put people behind bars because they were afraid that people would think that they were communists as well. Like, that is actually like pretty scary shit. So, you know, my heart goes out to that guy. Like, I don't have to agree with you politically to also defend your right to peaceful protest. If you are peacefully protesting, you should be allowed to do so. You should not be ever arrested for peaceful protests. But I think if you criminalize peaceful protests against Elon, that's a good way to escalate that situation. Like, you want people to start doing more fucked up shit. The best way to get people to do more fucked up shit is by starting to, go down and arrest people like somebody's grandma or something like that for protesting. That's a good way to fuck around and find out.
laws on the books. So if American citizens already don't have the right to boycott a foreign
He's a human
government,
shield.
it's not a stretch to think that they could soon also lose the right to boycott corporations too. On top of that, Musk is literally suing corporations like Lego and Nestle for not buying ads on Twitter, and he's accused them of an advertising boycott when that wouldn't be illegal, even if that's what they were doing. This is how the free market works, and I feel like capitalists of all people should know that. Right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to explain this to them.
This is literally how capitalism works. You have a product. If you come out and say racist shit and people say, well, I'm not going to buy from a racist, that's how capitalism works. Like I said a long time ago when it came out about those people that said they wouldn't make the cake for that gay couple, I was like, let them. I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's fine. Discriminate all you fucking want. Because then when you have no fucking business and you have to shut down, remember, that was your decision. We've said forever in the business I work for that we're there to provide a service, and whoever comes through the door, regardless of political takes, regardless of ethnicity or sexuality or whatever, I don't care if you as a customer hate me personally, we're still going to be there. Still going to open our doors to you and allow you to shop there. That's how capitalism works. If people decide that they don't want to shop there because they think that personally, they don't like the politics of a store owner or something like that, that's their right to do so. And even if they wanted to peacefully protest, they could do that as well. Those are all things. You cannot arrest people for peacefully protesting. If you do, you will see a rise from those people. It will happen.
They should know that. Regardless, Trump doesn't think that Americans have the right to protest with their wallets, so he is lashing out. And on top of that, he's also coddling Elon Musk by buying a Tesla to boost his morale.
Dude, you guys all know that Donald Trump is, he's the dad that Elon never had, right? Like Elon Musk was an asshole, slept with his stepdaughter, had 2 kids with his stepdaughter. God, that's so gross. Had 2 kids with a girl that he raised since she was 3, dude. Ugh. Holy shot. You know that Donald Trump, he's the dad that Elon Musk never had. He's just like, and he paid for him. He bought himself a dad. That's got to be a kink, right? Isn't that a kink, buying yourself a daddy? And what's the other one? Is Donald Trump a pay pig? Isn't that what we're like the person who buys you gets to like control like your bank accounts and shit? Like, is that what's going on right now?
Hello, President Trump. Are you looking to buy or lease today?
Well, I'm going to buy, and I'm going to buy because number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets, and number two, because this man has devoted his energy and his life.
Look, it's a dad moment. He's totally dadding him right now.
To doing this, I think he's been treated very unfairly by...
It's like when your kid doesn't do good at baseball, and afterwards they're all sad and shit. They got like benched. They're the first baseman, and they got benched for the kid that looks like he's on steroids. And afterwards you're like, you're a really good basketball player, baseball player, whatever. Doesn't matter. I was paying attention. You're really good. Sure, you struck out like 4 times. It's not a big deal. The umpires were bad. They hate you. They hate me, so they take it out on you. Like, it's a total dad moment.
A very small group of people. There's nobody like this, and he shouldn't be penalized.
Ooh, I want to get a motorcycle. I want a motorcycle.
When I watched the other day, I said, I can't believe it. It should be the opposite.
This is from the guy who shit on EVs. Shit on EVs all the way until like last Wednesday. Dude shit on EVs until like last week, and he's like, he makes the greatest product. Really, it's weird that all of this is happening. I never saw it coming. I had no idea that people wouldn't want to buy an electric vehicle. They're fantastic. God damn it.
People should be going wild, and they love the product, but because he's finding all sorts of terrible things that have taken place again.
Dude, this is our president. Oh my God. It's our president. Dude. Like, like all the presidents of old are just rolling around their graves right now. They're like fucking digging at the casket. They're like, let me out. I have to do something about this. That's the president of the United States, dude. Oh my God. What am I saying? He's not the president. The president's the one selling him the car.
Against our country, they want to penalize them in an economic sense, and I just think that's very unfair.
Well, too fucking bad. But how pathetic is it that
Very
the president of
unfair.
the United States is performatively buying a car he's not even going to drive just to boost the ego of the world's richest man? Everyone's been so mean to Elon, but he's a
Later,
good boy. He's a
TOG.
very good boy. And to reward him for being a good boy, I'm going to buy one of his cars from him. It is embarrassing. It is
fucking
so
weird.
pathetic. Turns out the fuck your feelings crowd were the biggest snowflakes all along. And let's not pretend, by the way, that this isn't disgustingly corrupt. The president is basically doing an ad read for the biggest donor to his campaign.
Dude, is that real? That's not real, is it? Oh my God. Please, for the love of Christ, tell me that's not real. Oh, shit. The idiocracy. You know it's not real? You know why I know? Why I know it's not real? Because Donald Trump can't read. Pete Davidson confirmed Donald Trump can't read.
It feels like a new low, even for the United States. But they should be thankful that most people are only calling for people to not buy
get a free
Tesla
ShamWow.
because there are others who are protesting at Tesla dealerships around the country to make sure that people can't buy them because they can't sell them. For example, protesters in
No, it's
Manhattan
real.
shut down a Tesla dealership by occupying showrooms, leading to 6 of them being...
Yeah, now see, this is what I'm talking about. You guys have probably heard me say before on this channel. I really greatly dislike the people that do the soup on the portrait thing on the Mona Lisa. And the reason I do is because it doesn't draw anything like positive to what they're doing. Because specifically, there's obviously people out there, I could give 2 shits about the Mona Lisa, but there's people that care, that like it, that are on the left, that believe in climate change, that are like, hey, don't fucking do that. I once saw a video, and it fucking made me so angry, being a person who's worked in a grocery store for an extremely long time, but it was, I think it was the people that are against big oil, and they were taking gallons of milk, and they were opening them and dumping them on the floor of the supermarket. And the whole time they're doing it, there's this employee, and he's just standing there, just staring at them, so fucking sad. Because he's like, I'm going to have to clean that up, you assholes. And I'm just like, God damn it. Like, somebody needs to help these people realize that the things that they're doing are not making people more aware of climate change, because people are aware of climate change. They either care about it or they don't. All you're doing is making people that already care about climate change look at you and go, what an asshole. That person didn't do shit to you. They probably believe in climate change, and you're just dumping a bunch of fucking milk on the floor that they have to clean up now. That kind of protesting, in my opinion, is both like, it doesn't do shit, it's ineffective, and it also is very asshole-ish to the people that actually have to like do the job. This kind of protesting, on the other hand, is my shit. Yes! Go there. Cause a fucking ruckus. Be in the way. Because you know why? Because when somebody comes to buy a fucking Tesla and there's a bunch of people protesting, they go, you know what? Actually, I think I'm going to come back a different day. And then if you're there all the fucking time, they're like, actually, maybe I'll just buy a different car. It's too much to deal with. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Arrested. And in Chicago, another massive protest broke out in front of a Tesla dealership where people were chanting, launch Musk to Mars, fuck Musk, and democracy dies with Doge.
Banksy,
and at these
that Banksy
protests,
shit was
people
funny.
were drawing Hitler mustaches on Elon Musk masks that they made while sig-heiling, just to inform customers that this is the person that they're supporting if they buy.
Dude trolled, and he's getting trolled so fucking hard. Oh, I told you guys. I don't care. Even if it was just to make the libs cry. All right, then, dog. You did it. You did it. And now when other people do it back to you, don't fucking forget. You did that shit because you thought you were owning the libs. Oh, God, it's amazing.
From Tesla. Not to mention, an army of cops were pictured outside of a Tesla dealership in Chicago, which I'm assuming isn't very inviting to potential customers, but they're
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That right there is exactly what I'm talking about.
increasingly having to dedicate more time, personnel, and resources to protecting Tesla dealerships because of the backlash to Elon Musk. Case in point.
Thank God the police are here to protect the Cybertruck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, how about that Department of Government Efficiency for you guys? The Department of Government Efficiency now needs police officers paid by the taxpayers' dollars to protect Teslas. Oh, this is going so well so far. Oh, man.
7, 8, 9 cops to protect one Cybertruck.
What's happening, Babette?
Amazing.
Your tax dollars in action. But to be fair, these cops were just doing their jobs, obviously,
Yeah,
which,
it's
to be
not their
clear,
fault.
is to serve and protect
Yeah, it's
private
not their
property,
fault.
not people. Now, the bootlickers at Fox and Friends, they decided to react to the Tesla dealership protests taking place by throwing a pity party for Elon Musk. And I've got to say, this is pathetic, even for Fox News.
I think it's totally okay. The president is overseeing what Elon Musk is doing. And then you got cabinet members that oversee their own organization.
Oh, my God. The whole owning the libs thing has turned in instead. It's like now they're the victims. They went from let's own the libs to, man, this is fucked up. How are you going to go from like, look at those liberal tears, they fuel me, to, man, like, it's not really that cool what they're doing, bro. Like this shit, maybe we could like arrest them or something? Because this isn't cool, dude. Oh, my God.
And they have strong opinion as well. So you need these guys to duke it out and then the president to make the final decision.
Right.
Dude,
there's
Chris,
no doubt
go and
about
just
it.
drive one around for days.
Elon Musk
Just be like, I
has paid a
haven't
big
gotten the
price
feel for
this.
it yet.
He's now in the middle of the fray. And as he was saying over the weekend, he goes, they are doing to me what they do to Trump. They are.
Bro, he put himself there. The dude tweets 24/7. You can't have empathy for this dude. This is what he wanted. He was the nerdy kid that didn't have any friends, that fucking wanted to be popular. He finally got what he wanted, and he doesn't know how to respond. And instead of like fucking being like, hey, look at me, I got this position within the government, and I'm going to do good things for people. Instead, he's just fucking inflating his ego because he thinks running a fucking algorithm that looks for the word gay on government websites is like doing the fucking Lord's work, that's somehow saving the government from the deficit. He's a 4chan troll. He's a nerdy kid that fucking had no friends. And now he's paying for his bullshit because when you fucking get to a place by undercutting other people and doing shitty things to them, no one's going to love you, bro. That's not how it fucking works. If you wanted to be loved, you would do things that make people love you. You wouldn't get on fucking Twitter and call Mark Kelly a traitor. You wouldn't shit on people. Like, even when it came to the MAGA people, he shit on the MAGA people and told them to go fuck themselves in the face. At what point do you think anybody should have empathy for you if the way you got to where you got is by fucking people over and being a shitty human being? Come on, bro.
Using the media to try to put the narrative together to make me seem like a Nazi sympathizer. And he says he's really concerned about people listening to this nonstop and fake news about him and his approach. And someone's going to try to kill him. And then what they're trying to do is hurt him in his businesses. And they're actually training, we want clear air. We don't want Musk here or something.
The funny part about being well in online games is there's no one to matchmake with because you're too high geared. Yeah, it's just as lonely as being on the fucking bottom, right? Bye, Bucket. Bye, Bucket.
You idiots. It's an electric car. It's your best bet for clean air. And now they're trying, now they have to worry about.
Dog, listen to them. They're defending electric vehicles. Oh, God, someone tell me this is all a psyop just to get Republicans to buy electric vehicles. Oh, fuck. This is my only hope. Hearing Fox News defend electric vehicles is amazing. Oh, I could do this all day.
His charging stations.
Well, from my understanding,
there's all this type of Nazi stuff.
He's like, they're fucking up the charging stations. Dude. Oh, my God. You know what Donald Trump should do to own the libs now? Donald Trump should own the libs by putting in more charging stations. He should subsidize electric vehicles and follow through with the infrastructure that Joe Biden. He should take Joe Biden's infrastructure bill and just fucking put it on steroids and just have electric charging stations all over the country. Just own the fuck out of us. Own us so hard. God, this is amazing.
Stuff's spray painted on.
From my understanding, Brian, they had to deputize. He uses a security company called Gavin de Becker, famous security organization, have a lot of former.
Look at these guys. They're having such a hard time. They're out of their element. Somebody brought them this script, and they're like, so we're going to be defending an electric vehicle company today. And they're like, we're what? We're doing what? Does Big Oil know about this? Is Big Oil going to be mad?
Former military operators that worked there. But the Trump administration, the U.S. Marshal Service, which they do sometimes, had to deputize his security detail to protect him now, so they can have more authority, like the federal government, to travel with their firearms everywhere.
Well, and Elon says it's the most American-made car out there. Most every part of the Tesla is.
Hold on, doesn't he have a factory in China? I mean, yeah, sure, the ones that are made here in America are probably made here in America. But dude literally owns a fucking factory in China, doesn't he? And he was trying to put one in Mexico, too. He's like, are these people this dumb? Yeah. What am I saying? That's a rhetorical question.
Is American-made, or the majority of it, more so than any other car, he says, in our own country.
They're putting North Korean state propaganda to shame. First of all, the media isn't doing anything to make it seem like Elon Musk is a Nazi. He's doing that all by himself. The media didn't make Elon Musk Sig Heil. The media didn't make Elon Musk endorse a neo-Nazi party in Germany. The media didn't make him agree with the white nationalists who blamed Jewish people for importing immigrants who hate white people. People think he's a Nazi because he has repeatedly demonstrated his sympathy for white supremacy and Nazism. And for him, being a climate hero doesn't really make a difference. I mean, they say that he's a climate hero because his company manufactures electric vehicles, so I guess that the left is supposed to worship him. But first and foremost, that's horseshit, as Mother Jones puts it. He not only emits more CO2 emissions in a month from his private jet than families emit.
Well, and so this is the thing. I think eventually he knew this was going to happen. First of all, that lady's name is Kirsty Wigglesworth. That's a good name for an author. Kirsty Wigglesworth. That's the person who took the picture. I think that he knew. And I think eventually he knew that all the shit that he was doing to try to push his companies to make himself more successful, to give him more connections, more ability, more authority within the government, was eventually going to lead to people calling him out for his bullshit. I also think that, for a long time, obviously I support electric vehicles. I believe in climate change. I do believe it is man-made. I agree with 99.7% of the scientists that exist in that realm. And up until Elon Musk decided that he was going to, decide to pull this villain role, I had no fucking problem with him doing things, but I was also unaware of some of the shit that he was doing to push people to this point. The way that he was treating his labor, the dumping in the Texas water, I'm a big fan of space exploration. I love space exploration. There's nothing more that I want than to see, us go into the stars and find out real fantastical shit, not made up fucking faith, religious shit, like actual, like crazy stuff. But then you realize that he wants to be able to shoot off, this many rockets to get there when there's a longer, slower way to do it. And you realize that it's more about ego and accomplishment than it is about helping the earth, and that's where it lost me, right? And then obviously everything he's done since then, as far as the trolling and the fucking crazy stuff like that, I can't be down with any of that shit. But at the end of the day, he didn't have to make that turn. He could have just stayed with what he was saying. He could have said, yeah, sure, I want to be able to get into space as soon as possible. I want to work within the regulations so that way we're not destroying the fucking, the air that we breathe. We're not destroying the water that we drink. We're not treating the employees in my business poorly. If he were to have done all that, he wouldn't be who he is today as far as like people's opinions of him. He created this out of his own ego. He created this out of his own greed, and I don't even think it's for money. I think his greed is for authority and power because, like I said, I think he was a nerdy dude that didn't have any real friends, and then he met Joe Rogan and smoked weed once, and the dude went straight fucking downhill since then. It's insane to see, and I do think that the ketamine has had an effect on him. I do think doing drugs has had an effect on him. I do think the popularity that he gained by buying Twitter has made him who he is today. And to be honest, it's fucking sad.
Emit for an entire year. He also props up climate deniers, so he's no climate hero, but that doesn't even matter. Even if he was a climate hero, progressives aren't required to worship him because he owns a fucking electric car company. Are you serious? By the way, that's our company. Our tax dollars.
Golf. Imagine seeing some fucking just thick ass, big redneck in a flannel, fucking MAGA hat on, Confederate flag flying from the back of his Cybertruck. And he's just like, yeah, owning the libs. It's so crazy.
Subsidize all of his corporations, and his employees made that wealth for him, and he stole it from them. He didn't do anything. Billionaires don't make shit. And even if his own emissions were net zero, guess what? We're still allowed to criticize him and hate him for being a Nazi, since that ideology is notoriously genocidal and evil.
What up, Karen?
But I love how we're supposed to believe that the richest man in the world, who has unprecedented power, is a victim because people are being mean to him. They're protesting him. Sure thing. We're all weeping for Elon Musk, I can assure you. I'm playing the world's smallest violin right now. You just can't see it. It's super small. But as bad as the protests might be for business, I'm sure that even that's preferable to the increased vandalism against Tesla dealerships and vehicles that's becoming increasingly common, because that right there is something that is really going to make the brand toxic. A boycott or a protest, that's temporary. But being embarrassed...
Yeah, that shit'll make you think twice about owning a fucking Tesla, that's for sure. If you're afraid you're going to leave that shit, like, what was it? Was it the Nissan Altima or was it the Toyota Camry? I can't remember, but one of them there was an article that came out that said it was the most stolen vehicle because it was like the easiest car to steal. And the sales on that car plummeted because of that article. Same shit here. You ain't going to want to own a vehicle like that if you think somebody's going to fucking paint a swastika on it.
To drive a Tesla, or not wanting to ever buy a Tesla, or wanting to get rid of a Tesla because you're worried that somebody might vandalize it. That is something that does long-term damage to a company.
Motherfucker!
And that is becoming a big problem for Tesla. And to show you what I mean, here's just a small compilation from local news reports who've been tracking these occurrences across the country, and they're happening a lot.
Tesla's stock was hit hard with its steepest drop in 5 years. CEO Elon Musk's controversial role in the White House causing fallout for the company.
And for some who drive Teslas as well.
And I look and I see in giant white spray painted letters,
bad for the guy.
F Elon.
Richard's Body Shop in Albany Park has handled about 3 cases involving these specific electric vehicles being vandalized.
This video taken in Chicago that shows a white Chevy hitting the bumper, backing up, and then accelerating again.
Oh,
the destruction of property here at the Tesla Center in Salem is only one example in a pattern of vandalism against Teslas across the nation.
This is only the most recent incident. It's actually the 5th time in the last 5 weeks this dealership has been targeted.
Police say surveillance images from the dealership shows Adam Matthew Lansky throwing Molotov cocktails at the dealership, sparking fires. In a separate incident, police alleged that Lansky fired several rounds into the dealership and at least one vehicle.
And driving a Tesla went from...
But remember, guys, liberals don't have guns. So that wasn't a liberal. Obviously, you know, fucking MAGA has said it forever. You libs are in trouble. You don't own any guns. So that must not have been a liberal. They're going to have to investigate MAGA. I mean, that's the way it is. We don't make the rules here, okay? If liberals don't have guns, that couldn't have been a liberal. I mean,
you know, a cool thing to do to not a cool thing pretty quickly.
This amidst a string of anti-Tesla vandalism reports across the country. Colorado police report that several vehicles were vandalized with graffiti at a Tesla dealership. A female suspect was later found with explosives at the same location. Over in California, several Tesla owners say they received flyers encouraging them to sell their cars or face consequences. And Monday,
there you go, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice says, that being said, vandalizing other people's property doesn't help at all our cause. It just galvanizes people on the right. Beetlejuice, some of those people are putting flyers on the car to just nudge them to sell their vehicle. There we go. There we go. Right? Right? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Monday in Massachusetts, these Tesla charging stations...
You think this dip is just retail investors selling? Because if it is, you want to buy the dip? There's a guy on, I should bring up his video. There's a dude who does Tesla stock all the time, talks about it all the time, and he's an investor. So, you know, he's speaking from it, a point of view, but he's also really disenchanted with everything that Elon Musk has done since pretty much smoking weed on Joe Rogan's podcast. We should take a look at one of his videos because he probably talks about it a little better than I can. If I was to guess, I would say it's not retail. I would say, most likely, it's not like selling off because of the things Elon has done. I would say it's more likely these you know, bigger guys that are God damn it, why am I missing the word right now? You know what the fucking word I'm looking for. They're selling off because there's a potential of the brand just not making quarterlies and stuff like that. God damn it, why am I blanking on that fucking name? Not retail. God damn it. Anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Were set on fire. Investigators believe it was intentional.
Since President Trump's inauguration, Tesla has been under increasing pressure. Over the weekend in downtown, demonstrators gathered.
The reason why I say that is because it's too big. Like, the sell-off is a lot. Like, it's not like, it doesn't seem like retail sell-off where it's like, you can watch it and you're like, yeah, that's bouncing back. I mean, do I think Tesla will bounce back? Yeah, I do think it is, but it's also going to take, so it's going to take leadership from Elon to get the stock to bounce back, right? And right now what he's doing is he's spending so much time fucking on Twitter, but also doing all this other dumb shit that I don't think he's really going to give the type of like leadership or speech or whatever. He's not going to be able to come out and like make people feel better about the stock. So it could continue to drop. I doubt you'll ever see it drop below $100. I don't see that happening because of the fact that people will scoop it up. Most people don't understand. People in the stock market do not have morals. There's no morals to what you're buying. Unless you're like an activist investor and that's like big dollars. That would be fucking way, way different. But I don't think that it'll be an activist seller or buyer. I think that it'll drop. It'll probably continue to drop, but you'll get people that scoop it up because they just know how much it's worth. Now, if Elon doesn't come out and like say something and Elon doesn't do something, or if Elon continues to do crazy shit like he's been doing, the potential for it to actually drop below like the 114 or whatever that people were talking about, there is potential for that because if he continues to do crazy shit and sales continue to tank, then there's really no reason to be invested in the company. If he's not paying any attention to the company, then there's no reason to invest in the company.
Outside a showroom on Rush Street to protest Elon Musk's involvement in federal cuts through the Department of Government Efficiency. While this remained peaceful, it was a different story in Seattle where several Cybertrucks were set on fire last night. Seattle.
Yeah, so when that's the alternative, I think that Donald Trump and Elon Musk should be thankful that some people are only choosing to peacefully resist through boycotts and protests.
Yeah, I would just continue to encourage.
I'm not showing you these clips.
So that's what I was saying earlier. What Mike just said right there, that's what I was saying earlier, is that if you think it's a good idea to start arresting peaceful protesters, these types of things are going to escalate. You should be encouraging people to peacefully protest, not discouraging. If you start discouraging people from peaceful protest, you will start to see much worse things happen to these Tesla lots. Like, the last thing you want to do is arrest somebody's grandma for peaceful protest. The last thing you want to do is arrest somebody's mom or sister for peaceful protests. You know, you saw what the fuck happened with Luigi. Like, he had a mom that was in constant pain. He himself was in constant pain. The last thing you want to do if you're Elon Musk or Donald Trump right now is to start arresting peaceful protesters, because they will 100% escalate this shit.
To promote vandalism, I would never support property damage. No way, not ever.
Yeah,
so don't do it. I'm also beaming some additional thoughts into the minds of my viewers so that way they know how strongly I feel about property damage. But the point in showing you these videos is to demonstrate how backlash inevitably manifests
regardless
in numerous
of politics.
ways,
I agree with that.
whether you like it or not. As Martin Luther King Jr. put it, riots are the language of the unheard. It wasn't a justification for political violence. It was an explanation as to why it occurs. Americans don't like getting crushed by the boot of billionaire robber barons. Well, at least most Americans don't like that. Not to kink shame any Republicans who may be watching. But my point is that if you inflict pain and suffering on people through policy, they are going to rebel. That's what has happened since the beginning of time. Whenever a king or some dictator does this, there is always blowback. This is not anything new, and Elon Musk has shown no signs of slowing down, so that would lead me to believe that the backlash is probably going to continue if I had to guess. In fact, in an interview with Larry Kudlow on Fox News, he once again signaled his intent to cut Social Security.
Yeah, and see, this is what I'm saying. Elon doesn't... I can't tell you what it is, but he doesn't have this ability to recognize when... It's like Trump. Him and Trump have the same shit. Is it psychopathy, maybe? Sociopathy? That could be it. Neither one of them knows when to take the foot out of mouth. Like, neither one of them has the ability to come out and, like, apologize or to, like, admit, like, a mistake. And that's what I'm saying is, if he can't do that, if he can't come out and, like, make amends with investors and make amends with potential people that want to buy the car and stuff like that, then yeah, the stock's going to continue to tank. And like Beetlejuice said, you're going the route of the BlackBerry at that point.
Which, spoiler alert, is going to piss off a lot of people.
So,
Golf, you're not being filtered. I see you.
I mean, the raison d'être in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements.
Oh no, is he going to try and explain this again?
That's like the big one to eliminate, because that's the sort of half-trillion.
Bro, you can't say you want to eliminate entitlements and Social Security. Do you know what the fuck would happen if you fucking cut Social Security, dude? Maybe he does. Maybe that's what they want. That would be the dumbest shit you could possibly do. If you took away the social safety nets that allow the elderly in our communities to retire, that's not like that. You're going to piss me off already because I've already put all those taxes into it, right? But if you cut the people that have paid their whole fucking life to finally get a chance to enjoy a small, infinitesimally small portion of their life, finally get to enjoy it. If you cut that shit, do you know what's going to happen to this country? Holy shit. Like I said, maybe they do. Maybe, I've talked about the Curtis Yarvin stuff before, and, I'm 40% on it, whether or not that's what's going on or not. But the more I watch them talk about this shit, the more I believe that's what the fuck they're doing, because you're either so stupid and so inept that you don't realize what the outcome of doing these things are, or you're doing it intentionally. You are either dumb or you are trying to do this. One or the other. And I'm not sure which it is. It might be both.
Trillion, maybe 700 billion a year. That is also a mechanism by which
not the first time I've heard that.
Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them to come here and then turning them into voters.
Yes.
So this is why the Democrats...
Bro, he said, yes. It's bad when even the person interviewing on Fox Business is like, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. Like, this is McCarthyism. He has zero evidence to back this up. He just says it because it's inflammatory, and people take that, and you've seen it regurgitated ad nauseum by fucking MAGA. Not a single one of you can, one of them can actually explain what the fuck any of that means. It's not legal for people to come here as immigrants and vote in our elections. People do not come here and vote illegally in our elections. Like, they cannot prove any of this. It's McCarthyism. It is say something extremely inflammatory, say something that is so fucking fantastic that it blows the mind of the everyday person. Did you know that's what's going on? Dumb motherfuckers. Yeah, oh, that's why we lost? Oh, that's crazy. That's McCarthyism. And that's the same reason that fucking ruined countless lives during the Red Scare. This shit is spot
Democrats
on.
are so upset about the situation because they're losing. If we turn off this gigantic money magnet for illegal immigrants, then they will leave and they'll lose voters.
He's talking about cutting so-called entitlements like Medicare and Social Security. And the reason why they're called entitlements is because we are literally entitled to them. These are programs that we pay into our entire lives. This program, Social Security in particular, keeps 22 million Americans out of poverty every single year, including 16 million elderly Americans. And Elon Musk, who gets $8 million a day from the government through subsidies that we fund with our tax dollars, wants to take that money away from us. That is our money. Okay, not his money. He can't touch it. It's ours. And the fact that he's saying he wants to take away what is owed to us, that is going to lead to people being very angry. So this is why people are pissed off. They do things to antagonize people.
On purpose.
They fuck people over, and then they cry victim when people respond by protesting or doing things that lose him money. But it's not just the brazenly illegal nature of Doge and the Nazism and the misinformation his social media platform spreads. It's the fact that his actions are now materially hurting people. That is why the backlash is so severe. Actions have consequences. If you touch a stove, you shouldn't be surprised if you get burned. But as you can see, right-wing propagandists are working overtime to do propaganda on his behalf to make it seem like he altruistically martyred his own companies just to save the country. What a good guy. But in actuality, we all can see that he's a greedy prick who's destroying our government for personal gain. But make no mistake about it, Elon Musk is not a victim. Trump scolding people being mean to him and Fox News running propaganda pieces for him isn't going to convince people that Elon Musk is a victim. He's
Nah, it's like the videos of somebody calling somebody the N-word and then they get knocked out, right? It's like the dude who got knocked out that was yelling the N-word in the black dude's face and then he got his ass knocked out. He's not a victim. Like, if you do that shit, if you hurt people, if you fucking take away people's their social safety nets, you don't get to claim that you're a victim, man. That's not how it works. It's not a victim
because people don't want to buy his shitty cars. Nobody believes that, and you're not going to convince us of that. Nor are you going to make anyone feel sorry for him. This is the richest man on the planet. I think he's going to be just fine. But listen, we didn't ask for Elon Musk to be our unelected shadow president. We didn't ask for Elon Musk to buy an entire social media company to poison American discourse. He chose to do these things on his own volition. He chose to make himself the face of late-stage capitalism. We didn't ask for any of this. He imposed himself on all of us without our consent and inserts himself into virtually every aspect of American life. And as much as I hate every other CEO, none of them do what Elon Musk does to this extent.
Yeah, because he wants popularity. Because the difference between him and all those other people, all these other billionaires and stuff, is they all grew up in some manner where they had people around them that probably, whether or not it was real or not, like loved them and like, prostrated themselves at their feet. And, even Trump is like that, right? Like Trump's had yes men around him his whole life. It's like the weirdest part about Elon is that he is like all these billionaires in the fact that he has all this money, but he's unlike all these billionaires because he was never as popular as they are. And what he really craves, what he really wants is, for just like Donald Trump, what he really wants is to be the most popular person, the most well-loved, the most well-appreciated person. But let me tell you this. That is the wrong way to go about it, my friend. The best way to go about becoming a well-loved, well-appreciated figure is to do things for people, not to do things to people.
Most of them buy politicians and then hide. Elon Musk buys politicians and then pretends like he's virtuous for buying politicians to benefit his own companies. Like, most people don't even know the names of the pricks and prickettes that run the Fortune 500 companies. So if you're going to put your face out there, then don't be surprised if people are going to start to hate you. And quite frankly, I think that I speak for most Americans when I say we're tired of looking at his dumb fucking face. But he refuses to take the hint. He sees the backlash and he thinks that whining and crying is going to make us like him more. He actually believes that he's funny and likable and cute, and he can't fathom why people would like him less the more they see of him.
It's that troll
But Elon,
attitude.
since you can't take the hint, let me spell it out for you as clearly as I possibly can. We don't fucking like you. We hate you. I don't care if that hurts your feelings. Spare me the crocodile tears. Go away, and I am certain the backlash will die down. Otherwise, shut the fuck up, because if you're going to be present, and if the Republican Party and Fox News is going to continue to shove you down our throats, we're going to continue to hate you, and the backlash is going to continue to build.
Luigi, Mac. And the funny part is Elon called it. He said, I'm going to do really bad things to this economy. I mean, I'm paraphrasing with that. I think he said he was going to crash the economy or whatever. And he said, and people are going to hate me more than ever. In fact, somebody is probably going to try to take me out. You knew, dude, you can't cry victim now. But he's spot on. Mike's spot on. Because it's troll mentality when he thinks he's funny. It's, I sit behind my keyboard. I say shit to people. No one laughs but me. But that's all that's necessary. The only person that needs to laugh is me. That's how trolls work. And that's what Elon is. Elon is literally a fucking real life 4chan meme. And he likes it. So, yeah. It is the dumbest timeline. Oh man, the dumbest timeline. Let's see. What do you got here? Let's not do another. I don't think we need to do another Nazi one. Boy, did I pick nothing but angry people today. We got the liberal redneck though here. There we go. We're back to big. What's going on in chat? Hey, you guys should watch my last video from last night. It was good. It's good. Cheyenne, pricks and prickettes. Oh man, I saw Manic say that the oh, what's up, he hurts. Remember the Alamo. 9 to 10 months, as long as I can watch to ease the hunger pain. All right, I'm glad I'm here for something. Yeah, Gnome's Canadian. I saw Manic say that the Canadians are jamming up the website to join the military. And that's the truth, man. Like, the difference between what's going on here in America, like, have you guys heard, like, them talk about the military numbers? I got a book for you. It's called The Broken Badges and White Robes, that talks about how white nationalists en masse joined the military during Trump's first go-around. When they talk about American military numbers being the best they've been in forever, do you know why they are? Because white nationalists have been feeding people to our military for a really long time in the hopes of getting them into government positions. You don't have to believe me. Read the fucking book. Read it from Joe Moore, a dude who was undercover in the fucking Klan for 8 years of his life. Like, he was there during Obama. He was there during Trump's first term. And he can tell you that groups like the Three Percenters, the Proud Boys, the Klan, the Patriot Front, all of them, every single one of them had massive amounts of recruits during that time. And that's why America's military is seeing as many applications as they've seen, or more than they've seen in forever. The reasons Canadians are doing it is because they actually care about their country, because they care about each other, mostly because they want to defend their maple syrup, probably. Probably because of that. Gotta defend the maple syrup! Yeah. Sorry, Canadian friends. So, did I see the leaving MAGA vid you left? No, I haven't seen it. I'll check it out. Wow, did you just call me a maple moron? Did you call me a commie earlier and now you're calling me a maple? Oh. You called Doug Ford a maple moron. Okay, from the Canadian, that doesn't sound as mean. All right. We will check out that video. I haven't seen it. Beetle, I am in and out of Discord real quick when I get on, because I'm generally only able to get on Discord when I'm like either editing videos or doing something else. And most of the time I'm working. I'm either working at my job or working on the channel, or I'm hanging out with my kids and my wife. So I don't have a lot of free time, but I do get on the Discord whenever I can. I'm going to play Hearts of Iron America versus Canada tonight. I don't even know what that means. All right, hold on. Let's go back into the little me here. I guess we'll watch this video, because apparently all I queued up was fucking... I mean, the Tesla video was pretty funny, but like mostly I queued up apparently like all the idiocy. It's hard. It's like fucking MAGA people were like, what are you gonna do if Trump becomes president, bro? You ain't gonna have a channel anymore. Maybe they thought that like I was gonna be put in a gulag, so that could still happen. But I'm pretty sure what they thought was they're like, bro, you gonna be winning so hard, you ain't gonna be able to make videos no more. And I'm like, what? Do you guys remember Trump's last presidency? And that shit was tame. His last fucking presidency was tame compared to this shit. None of us really gave enough credit to all the fucking sane people that were like, bro, you can't do that. Now we all wish fucking Mike Pence would come back. we want old Lindsey Graham that was like, well, I don't think you should do that, but I mean, if you're gonna do that, I guess you can do that. Please don't be mean to me, Donald Trump. They're making a mockery of this man's family. Yeah, that we remember those days. Remember those days? Those are way different. But anyways, yeah, like I got plenty to make videos about nowadays. It's all just dumb. God damn it. Why is it all going to be dumb? I'm just hoping for one smart thing to happen that I can talk about.
Holy cow.
I want to talk about one smart thing.
So in just a second, I have a challenge for everyone in MAGA.
If you add me on Steam, you're probably going to add my kid, to be honest.
Any of them
I don't get on Steam very much either.
I doubt it, but it's worth a shot, so we'll dive into that. Also, we'll be discussing Trump's tariff insanity and how it's tanking the stock market and the economy more broadly. Really ugly, bro. It is getting really ugly.
Yes, they are.
Then we'll talk about Gavin Newsom. It's about time we had a conversation about Gavin Newsom.
I didn't even introduce
he launched his podcast.
I'm sorry, Kyle. I just popped right into it. Let's start over. We're going to watch. Kyle has a message for MAGA, and I cannot wait for this because I know what my message is for MAGA, and I like when I see these other guys kind of go down that same lane. I like to see it.
All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Holy cow, do I have a lot of stuff to get to. So in just a second, I have a challenge for everyone in MAGA. Let's see if any of them take me up on it. I doubt it, but it's worth a shot.
I'm going to say no right
we'll
away.
Dive into that. Also, we'll be discussing Trump's tariff insanity and how it's tanking the stock market and the economy more broadly. Really ugly, bro. It is getting really ugly.
For all of us old-ass people, Donald Trump treats the fucking tariffs like the clap-on commercial. He's like, tariffs on, tariffs off, Tariffs on. Tariffs off. like this motherfucker. I just, when I think of Donald Trump, that's like what I think his thoughts are. Tariffs on. Tariffs off. Tariffs on again. Tariffs off. Insider trading.
We'll talk about Gavin Newsom. It's about time we had a conversation about Gavin Newsom.
Not on Australia.
He launched his podcast, and literally every show, he's talking to some far right-wing idiot. And it'd be fine if he went into that with the mindset of, I'm going to debate these people, I'm going to expose these people, I'm going to show how they're wrong. But he's not doing that. He's playing patty cakes. So I have a lot to say about that.
Video?
Then we'll get to Trump hawking Teslas as the country implodes.
We already talked about that, Kyle.
The driveway of the White House into a Tesla dealership. We'll talk about Elon nearly crying on TV as his business empire collapses around him.
Oh, my God.
CNN obliterated a lying MAGA scoundrel to his face. Bernie is now shattering records at these rockstar rallies that he's doing. He's just packing them to the brim, and then he's got overflow rooms and overflow to the overflow rooms. And then also, I could not get through today's show without doing this, but we got another awesome Bill Burr clip. He cannot stop roasting Elon Musk, and I'm enjoying that thoroughly. So we'll talk about all that and more. Everybody do me a big favor. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you nothing at all. Remember, guys, this is actual independent media. This is real grassroots media. You guys fund this show from the ground up. You guys tip on Patreon. That's how we make most of the money for this show. You also sign up on Substack for Crystal Kyle and friends.
Patreon.
Never had a conversation with an advertiser. Never done an ad read. Never talked to a corporation. Never talked to a billionaire or anything like that. And again, I'm deeply thankful you guys have made it possible for us to do that. Not many people in this space can do that. So
that's real shit, though. Like, that's what I love is that, like, one thing about being on here is hearing people show love to their community. Like, that's like, I really genuinely, like, love how much that content creators that are out there, like, trying to do the thing, like, love their communities. That's the way it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to be supportive of the people that support you. That's why I love you guys.
You will never see me do an ad read, and that's why. So please consider supporting the show if you haven't yet. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So let's start with this. As we all know, Mahmoud Khalil is a Columbia college student, and he was one of the leaders of the pro-Palestine protests on college campus.
Yeah, this is testing the waters. Like I said, I'm finishing up that Red Scare book right now. This is testing the waters. And it's just like the first lady. They brought this lady up as the first person to come in front of the committee, the HUAC, HUAC. They were investigating Americans for communism. And they brought her in, and they talked to her. And it wasn't like the theater that you saw later on during the Red Scare. Instead, it was just like they asked her some things. She denied some things. She admitted to some things. And then she pretty much went home. And she was later found in contempt or perjury or whatever it was. But it was a test. It was because every one of these things that he's doing right now is a test to see how far our judiciary will allow it to go. Will it go to the Supreme Court? Will the Supreme Court pass it? Which, kind of funny, but like the two people we're depending on in the Supreme Court right now are Amy Conant and John Roberts. And what they learned during the Red Scare was, who was it? It was Black, Frankfurter, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but Black and the other guy almost always dissented. Douglas, I think it was Douglas and Frankfurter. And they would constantly go along with the Supreme Court. So in this case, you had things that normally liberals would be against, and they were choosing to side with the more conservative justices in these Supreme Court rulings against everyday average Americans. So in this Trump administration, what they're doing is trying to do the same thing, but they think they have like the best hand to do it. I mean, Elon and all those guys said it, like, this is our chance. This is the chance to do what we want to do. If we don't do it now, we're not going to get it. And the reason they believe that is because they believe that the Supreme Court, as it's loaded right now with real conservative justices, that they think when these court cases make it to the Supreme Court that they'll rule for them. But so far, Amy Conant has shown that she has more balls than Clarence Thomas or Alito or Gorsuch. And John Roberts, who's always kind of been like the guy who tries to keep the Supreme Court, I want to say honest, but that's not the words, fair, I guess. Those two are going to be very important in these cases that make their way up to the Supreme Court to decide whether or not you can detain somebody for free speech, detain somebody for peaceful protest. And if those people side with the liberal justices in these cases, you're going to see heavy backlash from MAGA, and they are going to start claiming that those two justices, I mean, they're already doing it with ABC, right? So they're going to start claiming that they are part of the shadow government, the deep state, because they don't know what the fucking deep state actually is.
The other year. Right? So at Columbia, they looked at the genocide that was being committed in Gaza with U.S. money and U.S. weapons. And these kids who have a conscience and have some basic morality were like, genocide is bad, so I'd like this to stop. I'm going to protest. There was also an angle at a lot of these colleges. I don't know if it was particularly the case for Columbia, but at a lot of these colleges and universities, there was money being taken from the from Israel going to these colleges, and they said, hey man, you got to stop taking that money. There's blood on your hands if you take that money, right? And so this guy was a leader in those protests. Well, guess what just happened? Trump came through on his promise on the campaign trail when he said, we're going to deport pro-Palestine protesters.
Beetlejuice.
But this actually goes even above and beyond what one would think, because this guy was a legal permanent resident. He had a green card. So this is basically like a pubes hair length short of just rounding up an American citizen, detaining them illegally, and like a...
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's just a test, right? So if this goes through and this has legs, then the next thing is to do exactly that. And once again, I'll point out the hypocrisy of Republicans talking about people getting arrested for memes, bro, for saying mean things online. Like the goddamn libs are going out and doing all these things. And it's like, really none of that shit was happening in America. They're pointing out things that are happening in other countries that have laws against, saying that you're going to harm a person online and shit like that. So first of all, they're pointing towards things that weren't even happening in America. But then, something like this where like they've constantly talked about their right to free speech. And I guarantee you that every one of them would support all the January 6 people that did not go into, I mean, they'd support all the January 6 people, but 100% they would say that the January 6 people that did not go into the Capitol building had the right to be there. Like flip that around and say, okay, so every single one of those people that did not enter the Capitol, all those people should be arrested too, because that's protesting. Should they be allowed to do that? And of course they'll say no, because like the hypocrisy is insane. It's just out of fucking control. If this goes through, then the next thing will be to start arresting people for protesting, and it will find its way through the courts to the Supreme Court. Yeah, and that would be very bad for America.
A native-born American citizen, and then trying to send them somewhere. Because this guy, this is not supposed to be in the cards for something like this. This isn't something like, for example, temporary protected status, where the president has the authority to sort of change the rules a little bit based on his discretion. No, this guy has a green card. He's a legal permanent resident. And they said, we don't think you have the right to free speech. We disagree with your politics. So, to make it a little more clear for you, here's an admission from the White House after they arrested this guy. Now, by the way, I should point out, they said, he's being sent.
And I know, probably getting old now, but I'm going to point this out. That's literally what they said during the Red Scare. He's a threat to the foreign policy and national security interests of the United States. That's literally how they got Supreme Court justices to side with him, because they said, at this point, communism is so scary that they're going to violently trying to overthrow us. And if we don't do something about it right now, our national security is at risk. Like I said, all of these things parallel really heavy with this. So I'm going to have that interview with Clay Risen, hopefully Monday, where I'm going to interview him on the book. And we'll be talking about this right here. We'll be talking about this exactly.
Sent to Elizabeth, New Jersey,
What up,
to
Paul?
an ICE facility. Well, his 8-month pregnant wife went there to check on him. He wasn't there. They sent him all the way to Louisiana. And again, what are they going to do? Are you going to deport him back to Syria in the middle of a fucking war zone where we have basically the government is now run by Al-Qaeda and they're massacring Christians? Is that what you're going to do? All because he had the nerve to criticize Israel, which, by the way, is morally correct and righteous in this moment? Listen to this. Indeed, a White House official told the Free Press that the basis for targeting Khalil is being used as a blueprint for investigations against other students. So in other words, they're not done. They're not done taking away people's free speech rights. Khalil is a threat to the foreign policy and national security interests of the United States, said the official, noting that this calculation was the driving force behind the arrest. The allegation here is not that he was breaking the law, said the official. Let me repeat that. The allegation here is not that he is breaking the law.
What? What? Dude, you can't detain people if they didn't break a law. Oh my God, it's so fucking crazy. These are the people. They fucking nonstop condescended to me about how righteous they were in their defense of free speech. Condescended to me non-fucking stop about how Biden and Kamala were going to start rounding people up. Holy shit, the hypocrisy is so crazy.
But you arrested him. And you detained him. And you're planning on deporting him. So how do those things mesh?
Crazy.
How do those things work? They don't. They don't. This is a war on the First Amendment, a war on the Constitution. Is this administration saying, we just flat out don't believe in freedom of speech and freedom to protest, probably also freedom of religion.
Jesus.
All of these things are now under attack. They're under attack. This is a damning admission. Okay, so I want to illustrate my point here by showing you something. Here's Ben Shapiro when he talks about DEI versus when he talks about Zionism.
Oh no, we got Shabibo in the house. Oh no. What up, Kay? Yeah, every accusation is a confession for the right. Dude, I'm telling you guys, I wasn't like this fucking political person. And when I first was, I'd be like, okay, guys, not everyone is. And now I'm like, okay, could you guys stop fucking saying shit and then doing it? Like, because now it turns out that every accusation is a confession for you guys. Like, after watching you guys for this long, it turns out that shit was true. Like, God damn it.
Okay, listen to the difference in his language when he's concerned with free speech and when he's not at all.
Shabibo time.
Now, we've been seeing these massive marches all over the United States in favor of Hamas. If that doesn't scare the hell out of Jews, I'm not sure exactly what will.
These total lie. Total lie. They are pro-Palestine protests, not pro-Hamas protests. They're protests against the Israeli genocide.
Campuses, which are supposed places of safety and openness and diversity. Well, when it comes to Jewish students feeling, just a little threatened by people who are now defending mass murder.
I can't tell if he has them on 1.25 or if that's just Shapiro.
Of Jews. And then, of course, there's nothing to be done. Are these people who are marching in favor of Hamas that you would want working for your company? On campuses across the nation, Jews have been surrounded. Jews are being threatened all over the world. But we've got to make sure that the people who join the threats, those are the people who are protected. If they are not citizens and they support Hamas, they should be deported. These folks don't think like you. They don't think like you. In the United Kingdom, Jewish students are now afraid to go to class. I know. You are in your dorm and you're ensconced there and you feel so comfortable with all your friends who tell you that you're just a great person and all your beliefs are exactly right. The last thing you want is somebody invading your...
God damn, can you imagine being friends with Shabibo at that age? Oh, God, he's insufferable. Like, can you imagine? Oh, dude, you're like, bro, I'm just trying to drink my beer. I'm just Shabibo. Just trying to drink my beer. Can you take it down a notch? Holy shit.
Campus and saying things that you disagree with because that's just tyrannical and awful. You shouldn't have to feel like you're wrong ever. You should always feel like you're right. Well, toughen up, sweetheart. Bottom line is that it's time for you to learn that there are lots of differing opinions. And discussion is good for you. It makes your views stronger. It makes your views more durable. It is that exchange of ideas that actually makes an intellectual community worth having. If you're not willing to engage in that intellectual community, you're in the wrong place. If you want a safe space, we can find...
Young Shabibo just owning old Shabibo. Oh, damn. Oh, no.
Find a padded cell for you somewhere. If you want life to just be a giant teddy bear, go back to being a child. But if you want to be an adult in the United States of America, you're going to have to deal with the fact that there are people who disagree, and that's a good thing to discuss. There are only one group of people that want safe spaces, so that they never have to hear from anybody.
No! Oh no! Oh no! There's so many videos. Oh, dude, he's done. Throw in the damn towel.
Of a different ideology or political persuasion. Those people are called fascists. Okay, you've got a bunch of fascists, damn fascists on this campus, who are trying to shut down political debate and trying to cloister themselves in this little cocoon of stupidity. So they don't have to debate anyone or think about issues outside their kin, so they can feel comfortable. Guess what? Life isn't about feeling comfortable. Life is about bettering yourself. Get off your ass, you stupid pansies.
Oh my god. Oh, that's fucking gold. Just ending it with calling them pansies. Shabibo. If there was a definition, if you had a book with a definition, like a dictionary of of pansies, you could straight up just put Shabibo's picture there, and you'd be like, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. You wouldn't even need words. Oh.
Fuck out, man! So I want to give credit here. I don't know if this video was originally done by Turncoat Don, but it appears like he tweeted it. So shout out to Turncoat Don or Gen X Girl 1994. I don't know who made it, but that video was awesome. And what it demonstrates is something very simple. When it comes to black issues, trans issues.
I don't know. I think that might have been low testosterone Shabibo versus lower testosterone Shabibo. I don't think, if you test the Shabibo for testosterone, that's kind of a tongue twister. Test the Shabibo for testosterone. I bet it comes in the low 20s. I bet, dude. Shabibo don't have a lot of testosterone. There's not a lot of testosterone going on there, okay? Hey, what's up, Wildflower?
Issues around immigration. All of a sudden, free speech, free speech, free speech. I'm allowed to say BLM is horrible and BLM is a scam. I'm allowed to stand up and fight these people. Oh, you want your safe space? You want your safe space to hide from the truth? Fuck your safe space. We believe in free speech. But suddenly, when it comes to criticizing Israel, when it comes to protesting Israel, I'm a little snowflake baby and I need a safe space and I don't want you to... And you should be arrested. Arrest him. Detain him. Deport him. Forget the First Amendment. Forget free speech. We love safe spaces.
Give him some lean.
Do you see how transparent this is, bro?
Double cup.
Do you see how transparent this is? So I have a challenge for MAGA. It's very simple. It's very straightforward.
Shwing.
I need you to admit it. I need you to come out and tell the truth. What's the truth? As Mark Ames points out.
Oh, no.
All the Trump supporters who sanctimoniously claimed MAGA is pro-free speech and anti-censorship really meant they wanted Trump to destroy the people and the ideas that they hate. That's the principle here. It's more widely held than Americans like to admit. So I need you, if you're in MAGA, here's the challenge to you. Here's the message for you. You need to come...
Nope, before he even says it, I'm going to tell you that's going to be a hard no, dog. That's going to be a no from them, dog. Yeah, I don't see anything your challenge. It's going to be something to do with them recognizing how fucking nuts this current reality we live in is. That's not going to happen, Kyle. I'm sorry, Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. Hold on. Go back here.
So I need you, if you're in MAGA, here's the challenge to you. Here's the message for you. You need to come out and say that. No. You need to admit, we never really cared about free speech. It was not about free speech. We were using free speech
they're not gonna do that,
as the veneer of seriousness for what we really wanted, which was, hey, when we criticize immigrants, when we criticize trans people, when we criticize black people, when we say things that are politically incorrect, we don't want anybody to be able to criticize us back. And the evidence we don't believe in this principle at all is very simple. We're all fucking cheering as they locked up Mahmoud Khalil for some...
Well, that's because he's got a terrorizer name. That's the response. That's the response you would get from MAGA. You're like, hey, so you guys, I thought you guys were for free speech. They locked up that Mahmoud Khalil guy, and they're like, sounds like he's a terrorist. He was a student at a university. Yeah, he's got a terrorizer name. Probably should have locked him up. That's probably keeping us all safe. Lincoln Riley. God damn it, dude. Just the thing about this is I actually mildly disagree with a little bit of this, because I 100% think MAGA people bought into all that shit. I think they were like, bro, they're trying to get rid of our free speech, brother. Like, we can't let them do that. They're putting people in jail in the UK for posting memes. Did you know about that, man? It's crazy. It's insane how they be taking away our free speech rights. They're going to be doing to us the next. Free Andrew Tate. You know, like, I think I legit believe that MAGA supporters were like, no, man, we in the right. We are fighting for it. The crazy thing for me is how 1984 this shit is, because I think they fully bought into that they're protecting their free speech. And now that it's being shown that that's contradictory to what Trump is actually doing now, they'll just be like, well, you know, that man, he doesn't have free speech. He's an immigrant. He doesn't have any American rights. And you're like, oh, well, actually, he has a green card and he's actually here legally. So, no, he goes to school here. Oh, you shouldn't. What, everybody gets the right for free speech now? Is that the world we live in? Just anybody gets it? Like, I thought you guys thought the people in other countries should have free speech as well. Well, not here in America. Not if you're not from here. I press 1 for English. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Something that the White House admits is not a crime. They say it's not a crime. So then what does it boil down to? He was critical of Israel. They lie and say he was pro-Hamas. There is zero evidence he was pro-Hamas. Zero. But by the way, let's go a step further. Even if he was genuinely and legitimately pro-Hamas, that is also called freedom of speech. Oh, but they're terrorists, so you can't allow that kind of speech.
I knew that.
Virtually the entire political class in America cheerleads Benjamin Netanyahu, who's the biggest terrorist in the world. He has the blood of over 100,000 Palestinians directly on his hands. They have carpet-bombed innocent men, women, and children. They are starving all of Gaza. They are sniping kids in the head. And it's just another day that ends in Y when somebody who's a U.S. politician comes out and says, I agree with Benjamin Netanyahu. We should send him more arms and more money. So if we're going to say it's illegal to voice support for terrorists, well then 90%, 95% of Congress would have to be immediately arrested because they all cheerlead Benjamin Netanyahu and they arm and fund Benjamin Netanyahu. So, like I said, you go a step further. Because if you truly believe in free speech, even if this guy was legitimately pro-Hamas,
you should watch that Leaving MAGA series. Lots of former MAGA coming to talk about what they believe. It's sad sometimes for them. I don't want to be sad. Why are you trying to make me sad, Beetlejuice? I can't. We will. Tate washing? You make good when you get that Chrome browser set up there, Gnome. Go ahead and hit me up with that, because no, actually, I like watching the Tate videos because then I can see how much of a fucking douchebag he is.
That's still protected speech. So, as you can see here, Trump also came out and commented on this. This is wild, bro.
This is my thing. This is what makes the Trump thing so crazy. Is like usually with the president, they'll do something that people dislike, and then they'll address it in like a State of the Union, right? Having this much access to the leader of the country is not a good thing. You shouldn't have this much access to this man. And it's not as though we're taking it from him. It's him freely giving it to us. And that's what makes this whole situation so fucking reality bending. Is that you can't have a person make an insane fucking decision like arresting a protester for their right to free speech and then saying it's not because they broke a law, which is fucking just on the face really fucking insane, okay? And how do you take those words other than that? He's been arrested, but not because he broke a law. How am I supposed to fucking take that? Anyways. But to make it all worse is then you have to hear Donald Trump's fucking thoughts. His like 2 a.m. fucking drop it on you on True Social Thoughts. That's what makes this all so fucking reality bending. Because like I said, before what would happen is somebody would do something, we'd all look around at each other and be like, wait a minute, I don't think that's a good thing. Does anybody have any information on that? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then our journalists would look into that. They would write a story on it. You would read the story. You would be like, oh, okay, I think I have a little more information. I think I know what's going on now. All right. And then there would be like a State of the Union where the president fucking tells you, hey, you know, this shit that happened a while ago, this is why I did it. And you'd be like, all right. And it was like a fucking written speech. Now it's like fucking tweets at 2 a.m. Fucking Donald Trump is just fucking spewing his thoughts on the internet at all times. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. But whoever it is, I want to say mean things. I'm not going to say it. Not the sad ginger. I'm not trying to be the sad ginger up here. Oh, God.
This is wild. Following my previously signed executive orders, ICE proudly apprehended and detained Mahmoud Khalil, a radical...
Is arrest the same as detained in these circumstances? I would like to be able to speak to that, Perry, but I'm not sure at this point. Like... they're literally changing language. Like, they're like, to them, detained could mean something completely different than what I think detained means. Okay? As I understand being detained is like, you are taken in. You're not under arrest, sir. Just so you know, you're not under arrest. And then, like, they want to talk to you and shit, and then you're free to go. That's how I understand being detained. If you take me to a place and hold me for a really long time, you know, more than 24 hours, let's say, I see that as being arrested. Like, not legally. Definitely a violation of my rights. So I think it comes down to, we're going to need to get like a whole new fucking... This is like 1984. It's newspeak. I need a new dictionary with what exactly fucking Trump means when he says someone has been detained. I don't know what that means in Trump speak. Oh my God.
Foreign pro-Hamas student on the campus of Columbia University. This is the first arrest of many to come. In other words, we are obliterating the First Amendment.
Take responsibility for nothing.
We know there are more students at Columbia and other universities across the country who have engaged in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American activity. McCarthy's rolling over in his grave here in this, man. He's throwing a party down there. And the Trump administration...
I'm glad. Look, they're catching up to me. Kyle's finally catching up to me. He's talking about Red Scare shit now, too.
Will not tolerate it. Many many are not students. They are paid agitators. Total lie. Zero evidence of that whatsoever.
Oh my God. You've got to be fucking kidding me. They're going to use their weird fucking conspiracy theory to start arresting people. It's Red Scare shit, dude. You don't have to believe that what's going on is what's going on. Just go along with it. We're getting rid of the bad people. It doesn't matter whether or not we have evidence. It doesn't matter if we have proof. There's proof. I saw it. There's so much proof. You have no idea. I looked at it. I said, wow, that's a lot of evidence. So much. Oh, you want to see it? No, I can't show it to you. If I show it to you, then they'll see it. And if they see it, then they can be prepared for us to come get them. We don't want that. We can't give them we can't give them clues. We can't do that. Because then they'll be able to get away. We don't want any of these radical, paid, radical, paid actors to get away. You can't see the evidence
whatsoever. We will find, apprehend, and deport these terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again.
Oh, now he's doing
if
Trump.
You support terrorism, including the slaughter of innocent men, women, and children, your presence is contrary to our national and foreign policy interests, and you are not welcome here. We expect every one of America's colleges and universities to comply.
Okay, Kyle's Trump is kind of like South Park Trump, right? Are you guys with me on that? It kind of feels like he does like a South Park voice. Kyle does a lot of South Park voices, which makes it even funnier because his name is Kyle. Fuck you, Kyle. Like, am I wrong? Do all of Kyle Kulinski's imitations of people sound like South Park voices? I'm just throwing it out there.
Apply. Thank you. Let me explain something to you. Trump says, if you support terrorism, you should be deported. Okay, hop on the plane, bitch. You bloated, beefy-ass bitch. We have videos of Trump saying openly
we get gulag together,
that we should take out the families of terrorists. The families of terrorists. They say they don't care. Don't kid yourself. We should take out their families.
Jesus, Joseph.
This is what he said.
Crazy.
Never mind the fact he's actually done terrorist attacks, increasing the drone war 432% and killing countless innocent people, dropping the Moab on Afghanistan, stealing the oil from Syria. You are a terrorist.
He literally dropped the mother of all bombs because he was like, what's that do? That's a really big bomb. Wow. They call it the mother of all bombs. It's true. I didn't name it. They did. It's crazy. I had to see. I said, wow, let's see what it does. Like, I love how Trump supporters are like, he didn't start any new wars. That's like if I went around looking for people that were in a fight and just jumped in and started fucking people up. And I was like, dude, I'm super peaceful. And people are like, bro, I've seen you. Like, literally every time there's a fight, you jump into it and start kicking the shit out of the person. And I'm like, I have never started a fight. Never started one. Not a single fight in my life. I'm a pacifist. I don't fight. Never started a fight. I did drop a mother of all bombs on a guy once, though.
Terrorist. Not only is Trump a terrorist sympathizer because he loves Benjamin Netanyahu and sends him money and weapons every day, he is a terrorist.
Yeah, where's the father of all bombs?
His first raid as
he probably went for cigarettes.
Killed a young American girl, wildly in violation of the Constitution and international law. If you're a terrorist, we're going to deport you. Okay, like I said, hop on the ice plane, bitch. Throw the handcuffs on yourself. Astonishing. But again, the takeaway is clear. They don't care about freedom of speech. The White House came out and said the following.
And here's the thing, too. Here's another fucking, 1984 moment for you. All these people believe in, the Great Replacement theory. And all of these people will shit all over Jewish people. Shit all over them. They own... These fucking MAGA people forever hate George Soros. Talk about how fucking the Jews own all the newspapers. Legacy media is owned by the Jews. They are fucking weird. It's mind-boggling how they can make these things right in their heads. They both hate the Jews and think the Jews are taking over, but also totally pro-Netanyahu. Totally. Totally pro-Netanyahu. Okay.
Shalom, Mahmoud.
Right.
ICE proudly apprehended and detained Mahmoud Khalil, a radical foreign pro-Hamas student on the campus of Columbia University. This is the first arrest of many to come. They literally said, Shalom, Mahmoud. So trying to, mock him and taunt him.
Holy shit.
So I like what Michael Tracy said here. He says, this completely predictable assault on free speech would be much easier to take if we hadn't just gone through an entire 2024 campaign in which dopey podcasters and RFK acolytes.
Bro, I'm going to let you finish, Kyle, but I can't get past the fact that the fucking White House Twitter has turned into a troll. The fucking Gaza video, the ASMR immigrants video, you can't disprove that this is idiocracy. If we were to put America on trial right now for becoming idiocracy, and I was a prosecutor, I win that case. 99 out of 99 times, I win that case. I'm bringing up evidence like this. I'm showing the White House trolling the libs, saying Shalom Mahmoud. Bro, what the fuck is going on in America? I can only imagine what it's like right now to be looking at America from outside of America. Holy shit, this is insane. If you told somebody, if they weren't on the internet, but they knew, they knew world history, right? If you went to somebody that was a well-educated person, but they're Luddites, they don't want anything to do with the internet, and you told them what was going on in America right now, they wouldn't fucking believe you. They would think you are crazy. They would think you were full of shit. They would think you were making stuff up, that you're mentally ill. If you told somebody what's going on in America right now, people would be like, nah, come on, dude. Stop. This is fucking crazy.
Israelites adamantly argued that restoration...
Wait, you don't know about the ASMR immigrants vid? Oh my God. It was literally posted as that. Here you go. We'll stop for a second. I like that the first thing that pops up is meaning. You know I'm an old person. What is ASMR? What is ASMR? Had to make sure my kids weren't watching pornography. Here it is. Here you go. And look, when I say this shit, I didn't make this up. I didn't paraphrase the White House. I didn't paraphrase it. It literally says ASMR, illegal alien deportation flight. Actually, I don't think I can play this. I think this will actually get me TOS. So I'm not going to do that. You get here. We'll fucking do this. Okay? You get the point. I've already got a warning right now, so I can't get another. Like, that's what it is. Like, it's a person getting deported, and it's the White House. The fucking White House. Why does the White House only have 1.3 million followers? That's kind of sad. It's the White House fucking X, dude. We are in idiocracy. We are in idiocracy currently. Oh my God. Can we skip to the good part where it's just like, ouch my ball and balls and masturbating all the time? Like, can we just skip to that part? I'd love to just go to that part.
Of Republican executive power was necessary to restore free speech. More. He says the Republican Party has been on a ruthless censorial rampage since October 2023, and yet it became an article of faith in dopey anti-establishment podcast world that installing a new Republican administration would triumphantly restore free speech in America.
Boomers' fault.
Impossibly stupid. So let me reiterate my challenge, and this is super important, and I want people out there who are MAGA to actually take me up on it.
ASMR, didn't know. Okay.
Be fucking honest.
I was just checking.
Tell the truth.
Check it.
Look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm just going to lay it out there, and I'm going to say what's actually going on in our minds, and I'm going to say what our actual plan was. We never believed in free speech. You're right, Kyle. We never believed in free speech. We used it. We cynically used it, pretended like it was a principle we held. But really, it was just about, hey, dog, if I say something bad about trans people or immigrants or black people or whatever, shut the fuck up and don't criticize me. And again, the true test of if you believe in free speech or not is when your enemy says something that they're in trouble for, right?
Yep.
That's the true test. So now I like to think we've actually passed that test. There are times that you've had these massive protests to say, we don't want Ann Coulter to speak at this college or university. We don't want Ben Shapiro, etc. And I came out and said, look, I despise these people. I hate these people. I'd love to debate these people. I think it'd be better if there was a counter voice on stage. But at the same time, hey, they have every right to get up there and talk. And I don't think we should be saying, shut them down completely, right? So I've passed that test. None of these people have passed that test. As they virtue signal like they were the most pure and the most pro-free speech in the country, what did they do?
Right.
They ended up backing a president who has the single worst record on free speech issues in modern American history. Everybody knows that now. It's crystal clear now. He's deporting people for supporting Palestine, for criticizing a literal fucking genocide that we armed and funded.
Yeah, and even to Kyle's point there, is that, like I've said this before on this channel, as far as the Israel-Palestine thing goes, I don't have a lot of opinion because I don't feel like I'm educated enough on the subject of Palestine and Israel's history to really speak to it well and not spread misinformation or to say something that potentially could just be like off the cuff stupid, right? So I've always kind of said my opinion was that like the U.S. government has contractual obligations to their allies, and Israel, when it first happened on October 7th, had the right to defend themselves, and the United States of America had the right to send aid to their ally. But I've always also said that anything after that has been absolutely crazy. What has happened in Gaza has been fucking insane. You can't bomb terrorists out of existence. You can bomb terrorists into existence, but you can't bomb them out of existence. Once again, for me, like I understand like the idea of keeping your people safe. I understand all that stuff, but what is going on isn't right. But I also don't agree with the Hamas government, right? Now, that person who's protesting obviously is pro-Palestinian. I don't know his politics, but could potentially believe that the Hamas government is totally fine. I disagree with that, but he has a right to say that, and he has a right to protest it, and he has the right to not be detained, okay? At the end of the day, whether or not, the man is right or not, and I can't determine that because I don't know the facts around the situation, but if he's right or wrong does not determine whether or not he should be in prison for his beliefs. That's free speech.
And by the way, it's not like well, geez, this is the first time that Trump has shown he's actually not pro-free speech. This is wrong. We know he called to terminate all rules, regulations, and articles in the Constitution over his election laws.
He
literally said terminate the Constitution over his election laws. He tried to invoke the Insurrection Act over the George Floyd protesters. He wanted to deploy U.S. troops in our own streets. He didn't pardon Assange. He didn't pardon Snowden. He didn't pardon Daniel Hale. If he believed in free speech, he absolutely would have done that. He arrested and charged 6 journalists with felony rioting for doing their jobs.
Yep.
He gag ordered the EPA in his first term because the EPA was telling the truth on climate change, and he disagrees with...
What about the fucking journalist that got bone sawed in fucking Saudi Arabia, and Donald Trump was like, I don't know anything about that. What about that guy?
The truth on climate change. He wants to deport pro-Palestine protesters as he...
Yeah, I know who Norman Finkelstein is, Joseph. I've watched him. My thing, what I'm saying when I say that is I can't watch a Norman Finkelstein video and then think that I know enough about Israel and Palestine. Like, my opinion on what has happened to society nowadays is that we've lost our aristocracy. We've lost our experts. No, we haven't lost our aristocracy. We've lost our trust in our aristocracy. So my opinion of all that is that I think that people like Finkelstein and or Finkelstein, I think it's Finkelstein, and others like him that are scholars on this subject should debate it openly, and that their points of view are always going to be 1,000 times more educated than mine. Like, I can watch a video and come up with my opinion, or I can watch a documentary and have an opinion. But, like, at least for me, and I know that not everybody agrees with this, so you don't have to agree with me on this. You don't have to agree with me on anything, right? But my opinion on this is that, like, if I see something that's happening and I can do something about it when it's going on, then I'm going to try to do something that befits what I believe about the situation. But if something is happening and my voice is only going to lead to more misinformation and more chaos and unsettle the argument even further, when instead I can stand back and listen to people that are scholars on the subject, are experts on the subject, that's what I'd rather do. That's what I think the best lane is for me, is to allow people that are experts on the situation to debate the subject, to hear what they say, to attempt to form the best opinion I can from it, but at the same time recognize my own failings in my education that should say to me, I can have an opinion on the subject, but I don't really get to speak to it with any authority. And I think that's really important. But like I said, other people don't agree with that, and like I said, that's on them. That's how they do their thing.
He's doing right now, and he's about to ramp up. He called for jailing journalists who reported on the Supreme Court abortion ruling. He says he wants to open up the libel laws to sue more journalists. Before he was president, he sued Bill Maher for $5 million over a fucking joke.
We're good and truly fucked.
He sued CNN for $475 million because they called his election denialism the big lie. He said he wants to punish...
Do you guys want more Red Scare information? You know the big lie comes from the Red Scare. That was the original big lie. I think it was Eisenhower that said that. Could have been... No, it might have been Welch, who was the... No, it wasn't Welch. It might have been Eisenhower. I can't remember who said it, but they originally termed McCarthyism as the big lie. That's where it comes from. It might have came from something before that, but that's where I know
flag burning with a year in jail. We know that's a free speech issue because the Supreme Court literally laid that out in a landmark ruling.
Please, we watched that shit.
He threatens to de-license news outlets that criticize him all the fucking time. He just sued Simon & Schuster, the book company, for a Bob Woodward book that quoted him, and he didn't like the quote. He sued CBS for how it edited a Kamala interview, and of course he sued Ann Selzer for a poll he didn't fucking like. He has never, ever supported free speech. And my challenge to the right, my challenge to MAGA, is you need to come out and admit it. And you need to say, hey, you know what, Mark Ames is correct. Because what did Mark Ames say? All the Trump supporters who sanctimoniously claimed MAGA is pro-free speech and anti-censorship really meant they wanted Trump to destroy the people and ideas they hate. That's the principle here. And it's more widely held than most Americans like to admit.
Yeah, because it's always the same in that area. It's just to make you feel better. It's like if you keep telling yourself that you're a free speech absolutionist, that it's virtue signaling. It makes you feel, it's not even virtue signaling to other people. It's like to yourself. It's like self-gratification, right? It's like jerking off. You're like, as long as I feel good about this, that's all that matters. I came, like that's all that matters. And so the problem with many MAGA supporters is that, and when I say MAGA, once again, I'm partitioning out the cult from conservatives and Trump supporters. When you talk about MAGA, none of this matters. It doesn't matter. They don't care whether or not you can show their hypocrisy to them. That's why I've said, like, I actually truly believe Cenk thinks he's figured something out. I'm just going to show them their hypocrisy. That's a tell as old as time, dog. People have been showing Trump supporters, MAGA cult members, their hypocrisy literally over and over again. We watch for a solid year videos of Luke Beasley asking people whether or not that they believed like the Constitution was the basis of everything that makes America great. And they said yes. And then he would say, do you think that anybody should ever try to subvert it or get rid of it? And they said no. And then he said, well, here's a tweet from Donald Trump saying that he would be willing to, subvert the Constitution if that's what it took, because he believed he had elections stolen. And people said, oh, that's like a fake tweet. Obviously that's photoshopped, or no, he didn't say that. Like, you can show these people their hypocrisy all you want. It doesn't matter. Apparently that's not the antidote to their mental illness. And I don't know what the antidote is, to be honest with you. I legit believe that these people could be homeless on the streets, lost everything they loved, and if you walked up to them and you said, well, do you regret voting for Donald Trump? They'd say, nope, Biden did this to me. Nope, Kamala Harris did this to me. Nope, the deep state did this to me. We watched that video with that IRS guy the other day where the lady said, like, do you regret like that you voted for Donald Trump and you got fired from the IRS because of that? And he was like, no, man, there is government waste. It has to be taken care of. And that's like soft. He just got fired. Like, you can't show these people their hypocrisy. They don't care. All they care about is owning the libs.
Admit it, that's what's at the core of Trumpism. Admit it. You were never principled. You never cared about free speech. Look, I can deal with an honest disagreement. If you say, yes, I'm authoritarian. Yes, I hate free speech. Yes, we use it as a tool. We never really believed in it. Okay, we're getting somewhere. You're being honest. What I can't abide is the fucking pathetic, slimy, Weasley virtue signaling where you act like, hey, dog, we're all about the First Amendment. We're all about the Constitution. But then all of your actions contradict that. That's what I can't take. So if you're in MAGA, leave the comment below, share this video with people you know, and say, hey, will you admit it? Will you admit it? Because if you actually supported free speech, you would be the first ones out there defending Mahmoud Khalil. The first fucking ones out there.
Yep.
You'd be screaming about this from the rooftops.
In the pudding.
Right? Imagine a reverse scenario where some Republican protester was arrested simply because of their free speech, simply because the Democratic administration didn't agree with their position on the issue. What would the fucking reaction be? What would it be?
Well, we already know. Because in the instance that people actually committed crimes on January 6th in the Capitol building, they freaked out that those people were arrested. These are people that believe that the January 6th insurrection was a guided tour and will do the mental gymnastics necessary to believe that people that had harmed children, people that were under arrest for domestic violence, people that were career felons, all deserved a blanket pardon because they weren't doing anything in the Capitol building. It was a guided tour. That's what they believe. You're trying to talk sense to a bunch of people that don't have any sense. It's not going to work. But I get that he's not even trying. I get that he's making a point. One of the things that I think I continue to say is the hopeful thing is that people that aren't MAGA but voted for Trump will see something like this. That's really what you're trying to say. Is that, you saw the one lady who said, hey, the Tates being allowed back into America isn't what I voted for Trump for. I think that they're crazy. Everybody's going to go, dude, you can't believe that because fucking she had to have known. Like, he's a fucking abuser. It's like, I feel you. But look, not a lot of people are that smart. That's the fucking sad part, is that a lot of people aren't well educated. 99% of people are not politically literate. And some people are just straight up fucking dumb. And being dumb doesn't make you a bad person. Okay? It doesn't. So when a person that's dumb votes for Donald Trump, and then Trump does something that they're like, well, hold on. That's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to be against that. The most important thing is that they realize that, and then they do better next time. That's the best we can hope for. Because I've always said this. There's a big difference between ignorance and willful ignorance. You can be ignorant and be racist and have a path to redemption. Daryl Davis, who converts the KKK members by having conversations with them. The black man who does that proves that. You can be ignorant and grow up in a household full of racists and never have culture in your life, and there still be a path to redemption. But what you can't be is willfully ignorant. You can't understand that information exists that would change your point of view and choose not to accept it. Choose not to accept that it exists. Because if you are willfully ignorant, then you are complicit. That's the difference. So the hope here is obviously that certain people that voted for Trump because they're like, oh no, the fucking Kamala was a prosecutor, dude. Those people will see what happened with Trump and become disillusioned with Trump. That's the only hope you have in this, because you're never going to get people within the MAGA cult to actually fucking admit that what they believe is wrong because they're in a cult.
But here we have
being
a clear
dumb
cut
can
case
make you
of that.
dangerous.
And all you
100%,
see are
Nina.
lies, deflections, obfuscations, double standards, a pathetic lack of logic and consistency. So yes, I want you to finally come out and admit it and tell the truth. You never fucking cared about free speech. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe.
Yep. Kyle is spot on with that shit. And here, just for everybody out there, I'm going to continue to say this. You're going to hear me saying this all the fucking time. Is that I'm not going to agree with everything Kyle says. I appreciate Kyle for Kyle doing what he does and trying to educate people to the things that he believes are true and righteous. But I'm not going to agree with everything he says. There's probably plenty of things that if me and Kyle sat down and had a beer that we would debate and argue over. And that was like the good thing about the left, was being able to debate and not just sitting there and circle jerking each other over the things that you liked, right? Like I'm a confrontational person. So I like to be in a place where I can disagree with people. We can have a passionate argument about something and then be able to be like, it's all good, we disagree. What I don't agree with is when you do the jank style, like this person's homophobic or this person's racist or this person just wants to own the libs, bro. And they don't care if they burn down America. Those people I'm not having a beer with, and we're not shaking hands. And any passionate argument I get in with that person is probably going to end badly. Probably for both of us, because I really shouldn't be doing time at this point in my life. I have a family. I'm supposed to be a good person. What's up, fan? What's going on? Hadn't seen you, fan. There should be a literacy test in order to vote. I think there should be a political literacy test. I think you should have to be able to, and I know there's somebody in my chat that's like, you can't do that. I know, I understand the reasons why it doesn't exist. I get that marginalized communities would be kept out of the potential to vote for their own rights. I get it. But it does seem as though we should do something within our government to better educate people at a young age on politics, on how to vote, on things that they should care about, economics, abortion rights, equality, things that like are important to immigration, to our country. And you should have to be able to show that you understand what these things are. I think the government should in some way fund education so that way marginalized communities are not left out of that picture. But I do agree. I saw an article that claimed that dumb people were more dangerous than criminals. That's probably true. I was raised ignorant by conservatives. Hold on, Chris. I was reading your comment there. Go back up. I was raised ignorant by conservatives, and that made me enlist on 9/11. I learned a lot as an adult the hard way, and the moment I became the type they demonize, I became estranged. Yeah, because becoming educated in any way, Chris, makes you their enemy, right? Completely. Does the Boy Scouts teach that? I don't think the Boy Scouts teach about politics, do they? We should have a voter license where trained civics, etc., and allow them to vote. Yeah. Yeah, I think I think you should there's a couple things that I believe that a lot of people don't agree with. One of them is I think at the age of 18, you should be forced to leave the country. I think that you should have to join a job corps or a Peace Corps if you're not a military person. I think that you should choose to go outside the country for 2 years where you do missionary work or you learn about other countries or you work with people to help their infrastructure. I think that'd be really good for the rest of the world, and it'd be really good for Americans because one of the biggest problems is we are ignorant to the rest of the world, myself included. Or I think you should be allowed to join the military. So I think you should either join the military for 2 years or you should do some type of Peace Corps or Job Corps. And then when you come back, you should be given free education. That's my opinion. And I know certain people will disagree with that because certain people are anti-military. Certain people would be they would feel that their freedoms are taken away by being told you have to do that. But I think that would be really good for the country. And the other thing I believe is that you should have to be politically literate to vote. But like I said before, I think that you also should be subsidized by the government. That should be something that marginalized communities, Native American communities, African American communities, impoverished communities don't end up getting the short end of that stick because they don't have the ability to become educated because their school systems are underfunded. Like that's where I feel that needs to be. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want Trump's administration writing those books. You are correct, Max. The Scouts tick a lot of those boxes. Less politics, though. Okay, because I was like, wait, they teach those kids politics? HG wants us to live inter-game shit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. We can fucking... This is when the Orson Scott Card books got a little too Mormon-y. Is Speaker of the Dead. This is Children of the Mind. Speaker of the Dead was the one. Oh, there it is. Speaker of the Dead. Speaker of the Dead is when it got a little too Mormon-y, okay? That's when I was like, ew. Okay, hold on. I still read a lot of the other books, but I didn't read all of them. I'm more of a Bean fan than I am an Ender fan. And that's not being racist, okay? The fucking kid's named Bean, okay? Don't cancel me. But yeah, I think there are some common sense solutions to all the shit that we're currently talking about. I hate the fucking immigration conversation that is had in the media. I hate that people don't want to actually talk about fixing the immigration system and actually getting people that want to be here citizens to become citizens. And, and at the same time, do our best to protect our people that live here from the bad people that potentially do come across the border. I mean, I want to protect people from the people that are here in America that are born here that fucking cause crimes. It's like, but like there's solutions to a lot of these things, and a lot of them come down to like not common sense. In fact, they come down to complicated, complex solutions. Because when you talk about fixing the immigration system, you're also talking about fixing infrastructure in other countries so that way people don't leave those countries to try to come to our country, right? Like, there's so many things when it comes to whether it's immigration or it comes to voting or it comes to America's worldview that could be so much better if people just wanted to stop being so fucking hyperbolic and want to be so fucking popular. Everything is clicks and views and fucking fame and fortune and all this shit. And it's like, we would all be a lot fucking happier if people would just stop fucking seeking this kind of shit and instead try to seek to help other people's lives get better. Because when other people's lives get better, yours does too. Like, I don't know how else to explain that shit. I don't know how else to fucking explain it. Dumb equals can't speak. Low IQ. Actually, low IQ is moron. I'm pretty sure it's moron. Willful ignorance is stupidity. Thank you, fan. Thank you, fan. All right. Wait, did you say I didn't notice he was a moron? You didn't know that you didn't notice that Orson Scott Card was a Mormon? Yeah, he's a Mormon. Is he wait. Is he Mormon or Jehovah's Witness? I might have fucked that up. I might be misreligioning him, okay? What is Orson Scott Card? It probably says like right on the front. I'm a Mormon. Hold on. Scott, is he a Catholic? Oh, did I fuck this up? Oh, he's Latter-day Saints. My bad. He's a Latter-day Saints. Yeah, he's Mormon. Yeah, I was right. Fucking Mormonism. Holy shit, but that's even worse. Latter-day Saints is like the worst, isn't it? That's like the fucking kid toucher shit, isn't it? Every time I get in my car, it's like, if you were a victim of child abuse at the hands of the fucking people, if you're maybe touched as a child by priests in the Latter-day Saints, like, every time I get in my car, it's like, call this number. It's all fame and 4chan. Is that part of the Mormon thing? Is you get a planet? Is that what happens? Because that's pretty good. I had to Google it. I say shit, and sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, do I know that? Am I sure I know that? But I got it. Fucking A. Got it. Just an uncle. LDS is the new Mormon name. Okay. All right. Understandable. You guys are helping me out here. Good job. Good job. All right. All right. Well, we got to what we got to. We watched some videos. Let's go back to Big Me. When I got on today, the computer had to update. So many things, guys. I have to work all day and then I come home to do this stuff and I'm never ready. Never ready. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. And then I'm burping because I haven't eaten. I need to go eat food. God, I'm the worst. Yeah, I'm the worst. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys for being here. Just know I'm back here Googling shit. Are you Googling everything I say, Redonk? Fuck. Fuck. Fact checked. You need to just, every once in a while, Redonk, you should drop a fact check and just fact check shit I say. I'd 100% appreciate if you just started fact checking me. Because sometimes I'm like, do I know that that's true? Am I saying that? How much confidence am I saying this with right now? That's probably a bad idea. All right, guys. Well, super appreciative to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making Wednesday night super awesome. Had a good time tonight. Yeah, I'm finishing this book. This is the last thing I'll say. I'm finishing this book on the Red Scare. And I'll tell you this one thing. If you're concerned, which you probably should be, because Trump is possibly leading us into a recession, which is insane because we've been dodging one this whole time. We're doing so good. We're doing so good. But there's a possibility that Trump is leading us into a recession, possibly on purpose. There is a possibility that Canadians are going to hate us, and Europe's going to hate us, and Putin is going to make fun of us after he makes us his little bitch. He's already making fun of us, and we are already his little bitch. That part of the story has already happened. But by reading this book on the Red Scare, at the end, there's this weird feeling. You read the Red Scare, and you read all of this shit that happened, and you think about how unjust it was. And by the way, I'm no communist, by the way. I think communism does not work out in like a logical manner. It's actually, in my opinion, looks great on paper, really bad in execution. But I still feel like the people that are prosecuted, other than a couple of the people, were unjustly prosecuted. And reading this book gives you this feeling the whole time of like, man, this is fucked up. This shouldn't be happening. Why did anybody allow this? But when you get to the end of the book, and specifically when you read about people that generally you wouldn't agree with politically, saying enough is enough and standing up and, you know, putting McCarthy into a place where he had no power. He should have been held accountable, to be honest with you. But putting him into a place where he had no power to continue the insanity that he was doing, it actually has a really good feeling. And I think that this will as well. I know that's crazy to say right now. I know we're only 2 months in. But I think that good people will rise up. They will use their voice. They will use what little power or authority that they have. And eventually, you'll get to breathe a sigh of relief, and you'll be able to say to yourself, like, you know what? We did okay. That's the hope. Communist horseshoe of libertarians. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate the sub. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, as always, next show, Saturday at 5 o'clock. Watch out for new videos. Check out the video I just put out on Canada and America's relationship. I thought it was really good. If you want, go and sub to the alternate channel called the Angry Ginger Clips. Not magazines, clips. Okay. You guys can go and sub to that. Help me out in that channel. Help me boost that channel up. And it'll have live stream clips from this. So that way, if you guys want to see this long ass live stream clipped instead of 3 hours long, it's over there on that channel. So go and subscribe if you feel like it. Remember that it's the party of we. It's not the party of me. All right, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. And I hope to see you on Saturday.